Uh, those of you that were in the chat last night, I thank you guys for your patience because I'm sure a lot of you didn't know what was going on. And, you guys have been riding hard for me for a while now, and I don't ever want you to think I'm turning my back on you. But this was a situation in which I had to, what do they say, get it while the getting is good. And the getting came in last night, so I had to get in with the get in. If that makes any sense. So, on a side note, for those of you that are new to the chat, I know this might even sound corny, but what we like to do up in here just to kind of loosen up and get the whoops out of the way. I ask everybody to go find a dancing emoji of some kind that you may have in your chat emoji, whatever it is, your supply, whatever. Hi, Mama Cricket. How you doing, sweetie? Everybody find a dancing emoji. And what we do when we get our dancing emoji ready, we have our little dance-a-thon. It's just a few seconds. Everybody does their little dance. You just hit your emoji as many times as you want. And we do our little dance off in the chat. Just like Black Lion. Who is that? John Travolta? So I'm gonna count to 4. Hurry and get your dance emoji. And when I hit 4, we gonna start our dance. Is that cool with y'all? Okay. Elvis. Okay, that'll work. 1, 2. Oh, Boogie says I need a twerking emoji. Hi, Angie. Nice to see you, sweetheart. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope y'all can hear this. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear it, y'all? Please tell me you can hear it, cause I can't. Okay, we gonna do it some more. Okay. That's it. Oh my God, Ninja, you done really, man. I don't know what's going on with this earphone, but I didn't hear a doggone thing. But I'm as long as y'all heard it, I'm good. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Colleen. So yeah, we just hang out and have fun here. We talk about different stuff. Friday nights we try to have a game night. Got you in the store dancing, Angie. Yeah, but we just, life is hard as it is. There's no sense in having to wallow in nonsense every step of the day. So, you should have some place to go for a few minutes just to have time and I mean just to have fun and kick it with people, you know, and be respectful at the same time. So I welcome all of you new people that are here. I'm seeing 33 people, 35, I'm sorry, 35 people in my chat right now. Oh, StreamYard did something. Okay. I tell you the truth, this is the first time for me where I've had 35 people in here at the same time. I want to thank all of you guys. Man, I'm floored. I'm so floored. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And man, you just don't know. Looks like the wind died down. We're going to have a fire tonight. Oh, okay, cool. Black, you be careful with that fire because you know that fire be trying to escape. Yes. So, again, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Does anybody else here have any questions about last night that might have been unclear as to what we were talking about? Or are there any new people in here that want to add, their take on the matter as well? Ninja said, don't be floored. Man, look, if I got on the floor right now, y'all would have to call 911 to get me up. Ain't no way I could get up. No, I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. No, it wasn't. That was a good joke. Your channel just came across my feed. I just started watching your video. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the videos. I really do. And again, thank you so much for coming. I hope this isn't your last time. I appreciate all of y'all for coming by. I've never had this many people. Matt says, I pray we get justice for our beautiful queen, Angie Stone. Exactly. Black Lion says, I don't think it was a full on kidnapping. I think she knew at least one person in the vehicle. She knew all of them, Black. She knew all of them in the vehicle. It was who was how can I put this? Because I have to watch what I say and how I say it. There was a snake in the grass, Black, right in her face, and she didn't know who it was. Yes. Well, the way he explained it was basically, what I'm saying now is that she had some people around her that meant her ill will. Let's put it like that. Maybe this mic is too close. And oh, El Boogie, I'm talking to Black Lion. Oh, you're asking Black who? Okay, duh, I'm tripping. Um, okay, so the way that Storm was explaining it, are you saying that he explained it as that she didn't realize that there was someone in her immediate circle that was against her? The people who were at her last show probably seen some. That's a possibility. I wouldn't doubt that. There's so many, I don't know, just so many puzzle pieces missing, you know. No, Ninja, you won't have to call 911. I'm good. But because she made that video basically revealing her truth, I think that spooked people or certain people. And this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is the case. I was listening. I had no clue what was going on, so I didn't comment, but I wasn't trying to come off disrespectful. So I stayed quiet and tried to catch up on the situation. Oh, Mama Cricket, honey, I understand. I totally understand. And I never thought you were being disrespectful. I never thought that. I had to check I Love Sweeties because she was being disrespectful. The things that she was saying in the chat, I wasn't going to go for that. That was totally wrong. Yes, the rabbit hole is deep on this death. It really is, Angie. It really is. Black says the way he explained it, it made me think that at least one person knew her and she knew them and the others were out of the loop until time of passing. Black, actually, when this took place, she was just leaving a gig. She had just performed in Alabama, Montgomery, I believe, Montgomery, Alabama. And in that van was the driver. She knew him for a long time. Uh, her cousin, who was sitting right next to her. There was another young man there that was kind of like a third wheel brought on by the driver. The rest of the people were backup singers and band members. So they all knew each other. Okay. Just to make that clear. She knew every last one of them that were in that van. But the question is, who knew in that van that there was a hit on her? Who knew? And as the information is coming about, Quiet Storm has been digging deep, pulling up receipts. When I say receipts, um, getting court documents and things of that nature. Joyful says YouTubers jumped on this fast, gave a chance to preserve so much evidence before it would have disappeared. Exactly. Thank you for getting such honorable respect from Stone. You're a valuable part now of Angie's team. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And yes, Black, you're right. Sweeties was being completely rude. Mama says, yes, that was very disrespectful to come into your house and disrespect your guests. I had to fight commenting back, but you had it handled. You know I did, sweetie. I ain't gonna mince my words. Ninja says, yeah, Montgomery is where it says yes. But she didn't pass in Montgomery. They were on the freeway driving from Alabama to Atlanta. They were on the freeway. They were on the highway. And this took place en route at approximately 4 something in the morning. Okay. So suddenly, uh, according to some of the people that were in the van, they were saying that he was driving fast. Okay. And there's just several different things that kind of look weird from the giddy up. Um, Suddenly he lost control of the vehicle and it flipped several times. And as people were trying to get out of the vehicle, an 18-wheeler comes along and wipes out the vehicle. And she's the only one that passes. Black says, if he has everyone's information, can't he do a FUA request for the phone, text, and calls around the day? Well, that's another thing. He mentioned last night that there are cell phones that were uh, retrieved by law enforcement from whomever. He didn't specify who. Angie says, I believe she was dead before even getting in that van. The numbers involved are consistent with ritual. Okay. And see, again, I'm not sure if I quite understand that, Angie, because if she were, how would they be able to put her in that van without being seen if she's dead? I mean, she was just getting out of a gig. And she had $15,000 cash on her when she got in that van. But after the accident, that money was nowhere to be found and hasn't been seen since. So there are questions. Was she dead before the trip? I mean, did all 9 people know that there was a dead person in the vehicle? I mean, there's so many things but it doesn't make sense when it comes down to the tea that he dropped on my show last night. Nobody else has heard this information. He has a 3-hour interview with Angie's cousin who was sitting next to her in the van. So that pretty much tells me she was alive when she left the hotel. Okay. And that is consistent with reports from others as well as police reports in the investigation. But Ninja said, oh, that sounds hella weird. She's the only one that yes, out of 9 people in that vehicle, she's the only one that left. I'll call you later and give you some insight. Okay, thank you. Hi, Street Talk Daily Podcast. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you for coming. Welcome to the chat. Feel free to jump in whenever you feel like it, because we're just talking about, I'm just kind of updating people that aren't aware of the Angie Stone story of what's going on. Yeah, I hope she's telling the truth as well. And but you know, she's out of all those people that were on the van or in the van, only two people did not file lawsuits, and that was Angie's cousin and that third wheel that came along with the driver, who is allegedly a nefarious individual. But, you know, judging from the receipts that he presented even on this show last night, how can he, first off, how can first of all, he doesn't have a driver's license. Let's get that out the way. He's driving a van full of people and he has no driver's license. And he's this van that he's driving was hired by the snake in the grass, so to speak. I don't mean to call her a snake in the grass, but at this point, you know, that's kind of how she looks, because she was the one selling the t-shirts at the funeral and obituaries after the funeral, and the woman wasn't even in the ground yet. Who does that? That's That's questionable. Plus, facts facts do show that she is a twice convicted prostitute. I'm just saying what I'm saying. And that's not allegedly, that is actual fact. So again, we've got some characters in here with some shady past and, you know, acting and moving in strange ways. That's very disrespectful. Yes. So, you know, when you're trying to disseminate truth from fiction, some things may sound like everything isn't ritual. It might not everything is Illuminati. People die every day from Hi Leanne, how are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome to the chat. Let me cheer you in here. when we talk about the entertainment world, many people are quick to assume that it's saturated with the Illuminati. And to a certain degree, I can understand why people might feel that way. However, not everybody falls for the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it is definitely a very dark place to be. It's Hi CJ. Nice to meet you. Good evening. Welcome to the chat. Yes, selling shirts at a funeral is very disrespectful. They end up unalive. You know, that happens in everyday life too, sweetie. Leanne. Okay, hold on. Let me press my button. It's not doing right. It's not acting right. I'm gonna have to get me a new black box because this one don't want to act right. So, you know, it's really unfortunate that we're in such a time where down is up and up is down. You know, right is wrong and wrong is right, and sometimes, you know, the common sense is the wrong thing, but we should never lose our common sense. We should always strive to look for the wow, you're up to 4.12K, auntie, not the sidebar, but I just looked because of all the new peeps coming. Welcome, be sure to smash that like button. Thank you, Black. I appreciate it. I'm still, I can't. I ain't putting you in no box. You so silly. Pardon me, but it's just a matter of you can't convince everybody of everything, but what you want to do is at least give them something extra to think about. That's worth thinking about, you know. Hi, Quiet. How are you, my love? Would you like to come up? The man of the hour is in the house. Just talking about you, love. Okay, hold on just a second. You can help me because I'm running my mouth and I'm running out of stuff to say. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, God. Come on in the room. Come on, copy. Boy, StreamYard be tripping, don't it? Okay, you guys, this is for Quiet Storm only. I'm putting the link in the chat for him to come up to the panel. Okay, my love, you come on up. Okay, are you there, Quiet?
Yes, I'm here. How you doing
I'm,
today?
I'm doing wonderful. Hold on just a second, sweetie.
No problem.
CJ, that link was only for Quiet, honey. Wait, Paperwork Party TV based in Dallas, Texas continues to exploit a tragic situation with no regard for the family's privacy or the memory of Miss Angie Stone. Okay, duly noted, dear. Thank you. But I'm gonna have to ask that you um I'm not gonna ban you, but I can't bring you up to the platform. This is just I only put that there for Quiet Storm, okay? But you're still free to sit in the chat and listen and say what you want to say, sweetie, okay? Okay, sorry about that, Quiet. How are you
Oh
doing?
no, no problem. Doing fine. Doing fine. Uh,
Good, good.
I didn't know you were on live. I was doing my work in the background, getting ready to drop some more heat today.
Well, you know, I come on live every day at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Monday through
Okay,
Friday.
I'll keep that in mind.
I appreciate it. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
I
I'm still floored about last night. I mean, I've gotten a lot of feedback from last night's live, and yeah,
well,
I think it.
if you was floored from last night, you about to be you about to have a fit about what I got now.
Uh-oh. Let me see if I can turn my mic up. I'm having some problems with my microphone. Um,
Yeah.
Jeepers. I mean, I can hear it's just very light, very,
Hmm.
very light, and I want to be able to hear you loud and clear. So hold on just a second. Um, I may just have to. Let's see. Nope, not gonna mute it. I'm still struggle streaming. You guys gotta understand. I don't know all this stuff. But I think I'll be okay. I can hear you pretty well.
Okay. All right. So, listen, there is some astonishing news that have come out, and when people hear this news, mouths will drop.
Wow.
Now, you made a comment, and I'd like to address that because I need people around the world to understand that you can't take in your mindset. Well, not can't. You shouldn't take in your mindset that anyone is being disrespectful to the family by coming out with information or presenting information
Right.
to get to the bottom of what happened to Angie Stone. And I'll tell you, you know, somebody has to do the dirty work.
Absolutely. Well, we
And
found that out last night, didn't we?
exactly. A- and paperwork party is doing that work.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's doing that work. Not only is he doing that work, he's coming up with stuff that nobody would have gotten. If
Right.
he hadn't taken the risk to doing what he achieved getting done,
Uh-huh.
how would we know anything today? Would
Exactly.
would we honestly have done the research that we're doing today to find out?
Well, it hit me like a brick this morning. The ends justify the means.
Mhm. Now,
That's what hit me.
I'm about to show you something that I didn't even catch yesterday that I caught today.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna put this here up on the screen so you can see it. Give me
I'm
one
trying to get
second here.
somebody to come.
Wait a minute. Let me do that again. If I could, oh, here we go. All right, let me get the file for you. This is gonna shock you.
Okay.
This
Just
is
when I thought I couldn't be shocked anymore.
just when you thought you couldn't be shocked anymore. This is going to do it. How about post that for me?
Okay.
All right. How old is Lethal?
Okay, I'm having a hard time reading this. It's pretty
Oh,
small.
let me see if I can zoom it in.
Date
And
of birth 4/21/80.
there you go. You own it.
Wait a
See,
minute. What? Hold up. Hold up. That man looks like my grandpa.
exactly.
4/21/1980. I had my first child in 81. So that puts him at 42 years old.
That's correct.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. They said black don't crack, but that was a lie in this case. What?
I'm about to show you that there must be a cover up helping him do some of the most nefarious things he do. How could the prosecutor's office in Atlanta not know that this was not this man's birthday?
Exactly.
Chat, I know what his real name is. So I'm about to break it down. You're not revealing anything that I don't know.
Right. We talked about this last night,
Yeah,
sweetheart. CJ. He brought that last name up last night as well.
yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm showing you here is that first of all, Lethal Carter is not even his name.
Uh-huh.
Lethal Randolph may not even be his name. His
Hmm.
name may be Lethal Bowman.
Wow. So he's been doing this for a minute.
Absolutely. Now,
Hmm.
there is a speculation in the air that there may have been another arrest
Another
recently.
what?
Arrest
Arrest?
recently.
Hmm. Related to this issue?
Not related to the issue, but in general.
Uh,
See, in the case, you need to do what? Tear down the what?
the
Ca-
facts.
The fact and character of an individual.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possible arrest that he had in March.
Mm. Well,
On the whole,
the one in 2022 got me. I was like, say what?
yeah, yeah. Now, how is it with his criminal past? Could you possibly have a first time offender to receive 9 years probation
That's ridiculous.
when
That
your
doesn't happen.
when your fingerprints we show that that's not your identity?
Exactly. Unless you have somebody in a position that can help you cover that up.
Correct. Now, Black Line is asking a question. You said of last year Black Line. Can you clarify? And I'll answer the question for you.
You said of last year, Black Line. What are you referring to? One Joyful said he's got money behind him with deep pockets and contact.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I,
Black
I, I
Lion, what are you saying of last year? He was here last night as well. And is there another arrest in March of last year? Is what he was asking.
March of this year.
Of this year, dear.
This year.
Hmm. Wow. So okay, so that means he has possibly been arrested since Angie passed.
Yes, and that name, that new name that has come forth is. Hold on a second. Let me.
'Cause she passed on March 1st.
That name would be Lee Lewis Kitchens.
Okay. Same date of birth?
No.
Okay. Wow. Well, this date of birth right here for him right here is ridiculous. 4/21/1980. Come on.
Yes, and you see, we're not talking anything that is alleged or anything like that.
Right, right. This is an official
This is an official
Fulton County, state of
court
Georgia document. Yeah.
document. All right. Now, if things are not fishy with Mr. Carter,
Mhm.
why would all of these identities and dates of births and stuff be so different? What's with this? Why so many
Exactly.
names?
Yeah.
Why so many names? And then the big mistake it was that they identified him as Lethal Carter at the
Mhm.
at the
At the
scene,
scene. Right.
right? And then they put his correct birthday year at the scene.
So the
So he slipped up and forgot
uh-huh.
that he was on probation.
Uh-huh. So this date of birth that we're looking at right now on
Hmm.
this final disposition,
He
felony
lied.
with probation, is
Hmm.
not the date of birth that he gave at the scene.
No, it's not. Because
Mm.
if so, this birthday is not 66. So he gave the 1959 date.
Okay, so he was born in 1959.
Yeah,
Mm. Is there possibly another Lethal Carter out there that
absolutely
might
not.
have been maybe a
Ab-
junior?
there is a Lee White, his son, who
Uh-huh.
was on the FBI's most wanted list
Oh shit.
currently for murder.
Get out.
Nope, I'm telling you the facts.
Oh my God, the apple really don't fall from the tree.
Not at all. Not at all.
CJ says we don't know if that's him.
CJ, you must not know much about me. And that's in a nice, respectful. I'm not being
Right, right.
CJ. I will go down one side of your cheek and come back up the other, not yours. Researching. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I have very good skip tracers on my team, some of the best, and we will find you. Not you, anyone.
Right. Okay,
So yeah,
so one joyful lady says they said Lethal was not originally supposed to be the driver, but offered to drive for free as a favor for Angie, his friend.
well, where did that statement come from? And
Yeah.
that's not that's not the information that we have
Right. Well,
because
and see, that's where I think things get diluted when people say they said, and we're very quick to say that, and I mean, I say that all the time, but in a
Well,
court of law, they doesn't mean nothing.
they don't mean anything. So I'll tell you what, let's take that down. I have an idea.
Okay.
Let let's go to the horse's mouth. Let's go to Angie Stone's first cousin, Sheila Hopkins,
Mhm.
who was there with her.
Mhm.
Okay. And let's see what Sheila says in
Okay.
her own words.
Talk to me.
I'm gonna tell you from my heart,
Okay.
that situation don't sit well with me at all.
It doesn't sit well with me either, beautiful. And I understand that.
And
But and I was there. I was there,
mhm.
and I actually kind of left because it wasn't fitting well with me.
Right. So
And
here's one thing that that I believe I can set things kind of straight a little bit,
mhm.
but I don't know this question, and that is Angie passed before the truck hit. Am I correct?
Again, what it hit. Okay, so you're saying she passed before the truck got hit?
Yes.
I'm gonna say I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
But see, this is the problem.
Well, here. Okay. So let me rephrase the question then.
hmm
Did the truck run her over?
Yeah, mm, mm, the splinter that we was in.
No, not the Sprinter. The tractor trailer.
No, it didn't run it. No,
Okay.
Mm.
That's
no,
right.
no. I don't know.
Okay.
That
Mm.
didn't
That didn't
happen.
happen.
That didn't happen.
Right. So
No,
so that I said did not happen, and I didn't believe that it happened.
no, that didn't happen.
So I think something else is wrong here.
Okay.
I have chicken skin because I believe in my heart all the way through.
It maybe these last few. I'm gonna say maybe today. I talked to a relative of mine, and they feel a little different about what really happened too. So here I go back in confusion because I'm just not quite understanding. You know.
Okay.
Um.
Maybe I can help a little bit with it.
Okay. Well, help me
Let's
understand.
so Shaina is living with Angie.
Correct.
Shaina has an integral part in the interviews that Angie was doing, talking about her royalties. Shaina and Lethal both are active in trying to collect Angie's royalty.
Hmm. Hmm.
While y'all are at the show, coming from the show, leaving,
Hmm.
the van veers off the side of the road. While it's off the side of the road, it rides a good distance off of the road on the grass. And then all of a sudden it flips. I don't think that was a mistake.
Okay. Okay. I'm listening.
And you know how I believe that it wasn't a mistake? Now, let me say something right here. Do you understand what I'm doing there? Auntie?
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you was I thought you was still talking to
Oh,
her. Yeah. I get it. Mhm.
okay. So I'm setting a picture here.
Uh-huh. Well, she made it plain. She wasn't hit by that 18-wheeler.
Of course you wasn't, which is exactly what paperwork was saying all along.
Right. Hence the reason why he went in with the glasses and proved that, her body was intact.
That's absolutely correct.
Now, CJ says, "I'm confused. Wasn't Sheila there or was she not?"
You got to listen, CJ. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let evidence speak for itself. I'm not gonna
Okay,
persuade you.
right.
So
Yes,
let
she
me
was there, CJ.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, she was there. She was
Mhm.
there. But I want you to I'm explaining you hearing the way that I'm questioning because I'm questioning as an investigative person.
Right.
All right. So let me play the rest again.
Tell me.
You and Angie was behind the driver.
Mhm.
Okay.
If she had been sitting on the right hand side of the vehicle, she would have been thrown to the left side that was on the ground.
Mm.
But instead, she didn't get thrown. You and her landed right there in that position with your backs or your bodies to the window, which says that all someone had to do was stand you up, and help y'all out of the van.
Mm.
Okay. True. True. Somebody did try. Like I said, I was reached for to be helped out. I do kind of remember that. It's like I came to, but yeah, like I said, I can't tell you. It's almost like the van shook first, and that knocked me back. And when it knocked me back, it knocked me back out.
That's when that's when the van veered off of the road. So you
No, no. That's when the van was laid over.
Oh, okay. So when yeah, well then that would make sense too. That when it flipped, it laid over your head would yes, that makes sense.
Okay. So when I say, because from my memory, it just seemed like the van fell. It was like almost like let's say a van is just standing up and then all of a sudden it tilts over.
Yes.
So let's just look at it that way. So
Right.
from my recognition, the van tilted over.
Correct. Because it never
Right.
it never rolled at any time.
It did roll. Yes, it did.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
It's okay, spin or roll?
it rolled. So this is what I remember. Okay.
Okay.
So it fell over. Of course, like I said, when from the time it fell over, I bumped my head.
Okay.
So I was a little bit out of it.
Okay.
But when I did kind of come to, Ashton, I always mess that boy's name up.
Ashton?
Yeah, he was trying to help me out. I remember that. And when he tried to, something shook the van. Now, from what I'm under, and this is where it gets confusing. So whenever that shake came, it knocked me back down. But at that time, I know Angie had to be behind me because she wasn't in front of me. So she had to be behind me. And then the truck came, hit the van, and from what I understand, this is where I don't know, but from what I was told, then the van rolled 3 to 4 times down.
Mm.
Then after that is all I know is everybody was out of that van except me. At that,
Let me clarify that part. Let me clarify that part. She said roll, but it actually spin, not roll.
Mhm.
So it spins 3 times and
Right.
not rolled over because the top of the van was not damaged.
Right.
It spent counterclockwise.
Right. Because it was already on its side
It
by
was
the time the 18-wheeler came, correct?
correct. That's correct. So
So
but
it couldn't have rolled over more. It would have
no,
spun it.
right. But she did say she had foggy memory at that time, and that would explain that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I just want to make sure people don't run with that narrative to
Right. Right.
explain what we know. What we know that they said by forensics is that it's spent and not rolled.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's continue.
that time, I don't know where, because when I came to, is when I said to myself, "Where's everybody at?" But nobody was in that van. Not one solid person, but me.
Mm.
And when I finally came to and stood up, I said, there was a guy there and he said, I'm going to help you out. Now, this guy, where he came from, I'm not sure. But a lady also came and helped me out. But it wasn't that lady. It was a lady in a vest. This was some kind of, it was the same lady who told me.
EMS worker, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been. And that was the same lady who told me that Angie died.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was the same lady that told her Angie died. Now, that would have had to been a EMS worker at the time because she
Right.
had a vest on. That
Right.
would not have been Pillsbury.
No. No.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So there's a whole lot more that's good because I have 3 whole hours of this interview.
Mhm.
And it gets into a whole lot.
Wow.
So
So she was the last one out of the vehicle.
she was the last one out of the vehicle by
And
her account.
right, which makes perfect sense to me because when Pillsbury came out with her video, uh, she never stated who she was trying to help out of the van.
Correct.
And there were 4 females in that van.
Mm-hmm.
The twins, Angie, and her cousin.
That's absolutely right.
Now, has it been determined that Pillsbury was telling a story? I mean, has she been interviewed since then? Or,
I
because at this point she's like in the wind.
Yeah, I don't know, and I have not felt the need to reach out to her.
Mhm.
And the reason I haven't is because paperwork has, and so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna let that side of the investigation come from him because he's created a rapport. I think that will get to that rather than anybody else interfering with that side. So I have
Uh-huh.
not contacted her for that reason.
Okay.
And I won't unless he implies he would like for me to, then I would do
Uh-huh.
it. But
Right.
I won't step over his head or step in the way of
Mhm.
what he may have set up and then spook a witness off that he could talk to.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know it at that point. What I do know is that I cannot find any direct answer to how Angie passed,
Mhm.
and I cannot find a direct answer as to when she passed.
Right.
The closest we've got to it was what Sheila said, and you heard it here. But do I
Mhm.
take that as a fact? Maybe, maybe not. Storm, why would you say maybe or maybe not? There's no blood in the vehicle.
Exactly.
You're going to get nicked somewhere with glass.
Absolutely. Somebody had to bleed.
Somebody had to bleed.
Somebody. It doesn't have to be Angie. Anybody that was in that van, you would think somebody would be bleeding somewhere
Mm-hmm.
with the veracity of that hit.
Okay. Now, CJ is asking questions that CJ, where you get can that if they want to, can that person come up? I'd like to talk to them.
Yeah, CJ, come on up, hun. He tried earlier. So I'm gonna put it in the chat again for you, okay? CJ, you come on up. Because it seems like you got a lot to say.
And I'm curious.
Mhm.
My
But I'm gonna ask you, we
oh
ain't
yeah,
playing.
don't be
Don't be
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Don't
I,
be I'm nice, but I'm not that nice. Okay. Let me click on invite guest. Copy. Okay, this is for CJ only. Come on in, sweetie. Now, CJ has mentioned something that was stated earlier on a
Hmm.
different show. I think it was Paperwork Party. I might be wrong,
Yeah, but
but
I just wanted to hear directly from her account. I I
okay.
I I, I like
S-
I like to
Oh,
hear
he's referring to Stone's interview. That's what he's referring to.
to my CJ.
Yeah. Well, actually, one joyful ladybug asked a question to you. It said,
Okay,
"Did you catch Stone's interview today?" He said there were 3 pow-pows being carried by people in the van. Once
okay,
again, if Lethal
okay,
was one of them, and
yeah,
he's a felon, the
okay,
cops really need to be investigated.
okay. So since Stone released the information, then I'll go ahead and give you the info. So
Right, and I heard that
yeah,
same
but
interview.
I was because paperwork got actual footage of the van.
Uh-huh,
I was giving respect over to him because he has actual footage, and
uh-huh,
so I was mainly giving respect to him to drop that
mhm.
information at when he wanted. So since it's out there, I'll go ahead and say yes. There was three. It is alleged that three pawpaws were recovered. One was kept, and two were returned. But they return not returned, given to Shaina shells.
What?
Yes.
That's odd.
Angie Stone's pocketbook was given also,
Mhm.
but the $15,000 cash that was
Is
paid out
missing.
was not there. It's missing.
Phew. CJ, did you wanna come up, sir? Now you wanted to come up earlier. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Yeah, it's no negativity at all, CJ. It's just
No.
that with the information that you had that you want to drop, until I knew that my two brothers released that information first, I didn't want to release it because that wasn't my direct investigation to find out. So I am always a little cautious, even though I know something, because there's a lot more that I know that
Right.
I'm not releasing yet. But I'm working in concert separately from
In one accord, yes.
in one accord, so that there'd be no confusion to what's going on. Because you have to look at in an investigation when one person has physical evidence or copies of physical evidence, you need to let that person take the lead in explaining everything else. Because just because he hadn't said anything or went in detail about it doesn't mean that he doesn't know about it. So at the same time, I'm cautious to let them take the lead on that, and then I
Mhm.
come up with the receipts to follow it up.
Okay.
That's what I
Well,
consider my position to do. Yeah.
okay, CJ's answer, CJ got his answer. Someone answered in the chat already, so
Okay.
he won't be coming up. So
Okay.
we can go
Okay.
ahead and proceed.
Okay. So now here's the thing. As we go on, I need everybody to understand that I am dealing with what the court calls veracity of truth.
Mhm.
And veracity is the character of which one displays in describing their situation by way of truth. So if you are telling the truth, then you're a good witness. But if they catch you in lies,
Mhm. You're no
or
longer credible.
then you're not a credible witness. Now, so
Mhm.
what I am doing is I am painting the veracity of these individuals so that we could come to some semblance of truth.
Okay.
Lethal has a nefarious background from
Mm-hmm.
from terroristic threatening to kicking doors down to beating up women to
Mm.
carrying concealed weapons, distribution of meth, distribution of MDMA, the whole
Wow.
9 yards. And you are actively on 9 years of probation
Probation.
in the
That
current
part.
action right now. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they would have been on top of the investigation in
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, there's no way he'd not be in jail right now.
That part right there. That
Because
part right there.
at best they would have violated his probation,
Mm-hmm.
held him until Georgia told him what they want to do,
Right.
give him a bond or pick him up. But his contract, which I put on the screen,
Uh-huh.
clearly states that you will not leave the state without the state of Georgia giving you
That's what
permission.
I thought probation meant.
And when you leave on probation, they give you a travel permit to go wherever you're
Mm-hmm.
going. So if
Mm-hmm.
anything happens, that state knows that you had permission to travel there.
So he had no business being in Alabama.
He has no business being in Alabama.
Mm. Now, here's where the mind starts to wander as to why he would feel so confident to do such a thing with whatever potential ideas may have been on his mind, allegedly.
Say that one more
And
time.
that's where this is now that what we just said, what would make him feel that comfortable to break probation like that on this particular night with the possible intent of doing a hit, so to speak. I'm just
He's a
saying
narcissist.
if that's the case.
He's a narcissist.
Okay. But
Narcissistic people don't believe that they'll get in trouble.
correct.
They don't care that they get in trouble.
But not only that, don't you think that there's a little added bonus when you've got someone else on your side that has the ability to help you?
Well, yes and no. And here's why I say yes and no. Yes is because you convince someone to come on the road with you.
Uh-huh.
No, that person may not have had the guts to go through it doing whatever needed to be done.
Right, but I'm
Yes.
speaking in terms of someone of authority. If shit goes bad,
Mhm.
is there someone that can bail me out of this issue where I don't have to do no jail time, I don't have to be questioned or whatever the case may be? Wouldn't that be a possibility that if that person exists, because I think we spoke a name last night
Mhm.
of someone that has that very power to do that. Okay. For this man to be involved in an accident
Please,
where there's a fatality.
please remind me so that I can elaborate because I got a
Bonnie,
lot on my huh?
Bonnie, Bonnie Willis.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Of course. Someone on the state level must be
Mhm.
protecting him.
That's my point.
But absolutely. And it would have to be from Fanny's office. There is no way you're going to tell me that you prosecuted a man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and you do not know who he is.
Hmm.
You're not going to tell me that the prosecutor's up. Well, wait a minute. We just prosecuted you over here. And you, wait a minute. This is not you.
Mm-mm.
You're also not going to tell me that you did not run an NCIC on this individual.
Mhm.
But if you ran an NCIC and it came back inconclusive, all you had to do was take his thumbprint and
Mhm.
put it in the FBI database, and it would
Mhm.
tell you everything.
Quiet. I've got a request here in the chat from Matt Too Smooth.
Okay.
He says, Mr. Storm, can you put up the second crash report and review it, please? Thank you, sir.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that for you.
Okay. Welcome to the chat, Red Clay. Yeah, you was right. This goes very, very, very deep.
Mhm.
Very deep. Okay, let me pull this up for you. Okay, there you go, Matt.
Okay, so let's get into this and let's go. All right, so in this crash report, let me zoom it in a little more so y'all could see it. So in this crash report, this is from the state of Alabama, and it's the Alabama Uniform Traffic Crash Report on their state certified form AST-27, and its revision year is 6 of 2008. On this form at the top, if you follow my mouse here, you will see that there's a check mark and check if amended. So that says that this second police report, traffic
Is
report,
amended.
excuse me,
Mhm.
is amended to the first one.
Right.
This traffic report says that there's 2 vehicles involved, 0
Mhm.
pedestrians, injured 3,
3. Mhm.
fatalities 1, unit 1 type 34. 34 is a van.
Okay.
Unit 2 type 11, which is tractor trailer. Those are
Mhm.
code numbers, okay?
Right. Mhm.
Now in the first box here, it says date 3/1/2025, time 4:25 a.m.
Mhm.
4:25 a.m. is 5 minutes after the first van flipped over.
Uh-huh.
4:25 is the time that they said that the impact came from the tractor trailer.
Mhm.
All right. Then it says that let's go to the unit 1, which would be the Sprinter van. It's a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter. Now,
Mhm.
from what I hear conflicting story, because I think the VIN number shows it as a 2001 Sprinter van, not a 2021.
Mhm.
So we've got to check that again.
Right.
And but how we do that, so that anyone think that we are capping or something, if you
Mhm.
can see, it lists the insurance company of the Sprinter van, which is Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual. Mhm.
List the policy so that we're able to get that information also.
Mhm.
Down in the next box here at the top, I'm putting it up. You you see that it
Oh.
was the Sprinter van.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hazardous coal cargo 97. They don't know.
Okay, I just saw something very interesting as well before you scrolled down.
Okay.
If you could scroll back just a tad. Uh, alcohol alcohol test given 97.
That means they don't know. The results of that are unknown.
Unknown test results.
Right.
Unknown test given. So they don't know if a test was even given, as
No,
well as a
no.
drug test.
There was a blood test.
Okay.
Okay. So on number 1, it says that a blood test was given to lethal.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And but the results of it is 97. They don't know what the results was because they don't get the results right away from the blood
Okay,
test.
so right under where it says Liberty Mutual,
Yes.
it says sobriety / officer opinion.
And
Alcohol, not applicable.
yes,
Drugs, no.
right. Now, all of these 97s right here tells me one
Mhm.
thing, that he did not interview him at the accident. He interviewed him at the hospital.
Mhm.
So he would not have known. This is how he allegedly got away without being arrested, and not verifying the driver's license because everything was unknown.
Hmm.
Okay, if you look at the second report here, it says driver name is that's all redacted, right?
Right.
But here it says driver's license, race 97, sex 97, driver
All these
DL state.
97s.
Right. So that means he didn't know. He didn't know. But on the first report, it was different information.
Right.
So he didn't have a driver's license. There was no driver's license presented.
Right. But they didn't take the time to I just have a hard and again, I'm not trying to take away from what you're saying. I'm very interested in this report.
Mhm.
This is where I feel that the police have dropped the ball
Absolutely.
in
Absolutely.
that when you're at a scene, when there's a fatality involved,
Mhm.
you don't wait till you get to the hospital.
Mhm.
That gives time for anything that might have been in his system to dissipate.
Not only dissipate. And before we go further, let's let everyone know exactly what we mean by that. So if you're intoxicated by alcohol or whatever, the more time goes by from the time that you took it or drank it, or whatever,
Mhm.
starts to wear off after 1 or 2 hours. So
Right.
after 2 hours, if you were at a 9.9, you're probably going to be at a 6.2, which may put
Correct.
you in the legal realm, but you were intoxicated at the time of impact.
Right.
So
And isn't there a question of he said he doesn't recall 2 hours of
that's
some
what he
time that he was I never understood what 2 hours he was referring to.
Okay, so let's go to that in the narrative. So the narrative says here that Unit 1 was lying on his driver's side in the middle of the northbound lanes after being involved in a rollover crash. Unit 2 was traveling north on I-65 when it struck Unit 1 around the undercarriage near the front axle of the van. They say front axle, but I'm saying the van so everybody know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
This impact caused Unit 1 to rotate counterclockwise. Let's go to the
Mhm,
diagram.
mhm.
Okay. You see in this diagram, you, you, you see in that diagram that the van was hit by the front wheel
Right.
carriage area and it caused it to spin
Mhm.
counterclockwise.
Right.
See, she said it flipped, but it spinned
Yeah.
according to the report. And that seems more
Logical.
correct because the
Yeah.
whole side of that van was scraped up.
Toe up. Mhm,
So that would confirm this explanation
mhm,
in my book,
mhm,
right? So now you see where the arrow is and where the van spent, and then it landed right here at the first van there, where
mhm.
my hand is. I mean, not my hand, but my mouse
The
right
cursor,
there.
yeah.
All right, so that's where it landed, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's look at this. If it's spin and it's on the grass, right? There is
Right.
no way that van is going to go that far and that metal not cut up someone for blood done to them there.
Exactly. But not only that, when I saw the actual video footage of whomever was driving by the accident after the fact,
Well,
it
well,
was
well, well,
nowhere
well,
in
we can't,
the
we,
traffic.
yeah, we can't go by that one, that
Mhm.
footage. And the reason we can't go by that footage because that was many hours later after cleanup.
Okay. So
And so,
is it safe to say that they moved it to the middle onto the whole vehicle further into the grass?
well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you another exclusive.
Uh-oh. When you say exclusive, my ears tingle.
Let me give you. Would you play that video for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, good morning. Montgomery Street Committee breaking news. We got an
Oh, wait a minute.
accident or
Let
a
me take
major
that down.
crash
That's the
on
wrong date.
Interstate
That's
65
not the right
South.
one.
Wrong one.
Yeah, let me take that one down and put the right one up.
Okay.
I typoed the wrong date right there, and I need to present that correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Hey everyone, good morning. Montgomery Street Committee breaking news. We got an accident or a major crash on Interstate 65 South. This is near the Mobile Highway, Hope Hull exit 164. Crash is blocking all lanes. Please seek an alternate route. And at this time, the road is closed. Not sure of the extent of what's going on, but as you can see from the picture, before the sun rises, looks like some 18 wheelers are involved, and just want to be in prayer for whoever is involved in those accidents as always. Thank you for your continued support of Montgomery Street Committee reporting a major crash 65 near the Hope Hull exit. You can see on the screen the extremity of the crash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're seeing now is a timeline from 4 a.m. till about 7 a.m. to see what all happened. As you can see now, at this point, at this point of the video, the ambulances are gone, and it's not even daylight yet.
Right.
You see, there's no ambulance on the scene now because they're all gone. Which means there is no way that the police did a proper investigation, because now we're at daylight. They're still there. There are no ambulances at all. There is no block off. There's no coroner on the scene.
Traffic moving on both sides.
Traffic moving on both sides. And you see the Sprinter van laying right where the diagram said it was. That black dot that you see right there, that's the Sprinter van.
I see the van, but it appears to be further in.
Absolutely.
Out of the way of traffic.
That's correct. And it had not been moved. That's where it landed.
So, so the people
could understand. Everybody was saying there's no cameras and there's no footage of what's going on. Well,
it's right here.
You can see that it is here. Now, what I've done, and I'll be forthwith with you, is that I've chopped it up so that it wouldn't show a bunch of stuff, because when the time comes, you're going to see that footage. But I am following protocol with my other brothers so that all the information comes together so that everybody see.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm doing it this way, so that we're all working in concert together. But I need you to see that the tractor trailer is right there on the right hand side in the white with the police car in front of it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that long dark dip there,
right where he crossed the road. I mean, he crossed over.
That's correct. Where he crossed over at. All right. Now, as you can see, that space between the van and the tracks of where the trailer came at, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely see that the tractor trailer did not run Angie over.
Absolutely not. It looks like he tried to swerve out of the way, because those things are hard to maneuver. I'm just not clear how he ended up on the other side of the freeway. That's my only question.
You're not sure as to who ended up on the other side?
The tractor trailer.
Oh, I can definitely tell you that. At the speed it was going, it had to brake, and in order for it to brake, it had to go somewhere to not cause any more damage. On that side.
That makes sense.
Because
that makes sense.
On both sides, they have that metal rodding and wiring on the side of the road to stop it. But just happened so it went all the way to the other side.
Wow.
Ninja Star says, you know what I just figured out? It has been 113 years since the time. Well, good God Almighty.
Okay, Ninja, thank you. Go take a seat, sweetheart. Thank you for the Sweetheart.
So
I
any questions you want to ask? Because
no,
this right here tells a whole lot. This is
right,
right at dusk. I mean, coming up at say 6:30,
right,
6:30, right here.
right.
And you mean tell me you cleaned up that scene?
Mm-mm. So
There's no ambulance there. There's no
there's no ambulance. How did they make it to the hospital?
ambulance.
Okay, so the ambulance then taken them and moved on about their business, took them to the hospital.
That's correct.
And the Sprinter van is still there in
And
its
there was no
current
coroner,
state.
and there was no coroner on the scene. Had there been a
Wait,
coroner on the scene, this would have been there until 12 noon.
that was my biggest concern. Why would they take a deceased person to the hospital? That is
Well, now that there could be various reasons for that.
Mhm. Is that because there was no coroner on the scene?
There was no coroner on the scene, and they said that a medical doctor responded to the scene.
Okay. Huh.
So if a medical doctor responds to the scene, just as well as any state, that doctor has the state authority to TOD a person. You know what that means, right?
Mhm.
Time of death.
Right.
So I'm assuming allegedly that's what took place, and they transported the body
Mhm.
or transported her while she may have been alive
Right.
because there ain't no blood.
Th That part keeps popping up.
Exactly.
And again, I'm looking at this Sprinter van, and it is not in the line of the highway, the lane
Well,
of traffic.
that's because the tractor trailer hit it and made it spin out of the highway.
Okay, but in that diagram that you showed,
It explained just that.
well, according to the diagram, it said it looked as though the Sprinter van was still partially in the lane.
Well, it technically is. The light right there is blocking the front.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean, the
okay.
back is blocking the
I
back of the van because it's right on the edge there.
Okay. Because again, I still can't help but refer to that drive-by uh, footage that someone took as they were driving by the scene, and the
Yeah.
van was completely in the middle,
Well,
out
no,
of the way of traffic.
not in the completely in the middle. It was right there, but they had moved. By the time that video was, it was standing up, so it was moved some because they stood it
Okay.
up.
Okay, so that's what I saw.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When people were passing by and taking pictures of it, they were taking pictures of the cleanup where the tow truck was getting ready to tow the vehicles off,
Mhm.
and that's where a lot of people focus was stuck right there, not taking it in consideration, excuse me,
Mhm.
of everything that happened prior to that time.
Right. Okay. So they did, in fact, move it over a little bit. They
They
stood it
did.
up.
They did
Yeah.
because they had safety
That's
reasons.
why it looks like it's more out of the way of traffic. Okay. Um Mr. Storm,
Yeah.
Matt Too Smooth says, Mr. Storm, can you please enlighten us on any background information you may have on Shauna Shell and how she met Angie and how long she had been living in her home? Mr. Paxton mentioned her name. Can
Okay.
I answer this?
You want to answer it?
Um, I believe you've covered this. Didn't you cover this last night?
I did.
Okay, the best thing to do at this point, Matt, would be to refer to the replay of last night's live because he covers that extensively rather than to backtrack. You see what I'm saying? Because we're kind of into part two of this now, if you don't mind. But that has been covered in last night's live. And if you look at the replay, you'll get all that information there.
Yeah.
Um,
And
can't but
and another thing is what you guys need to understand is a lot of what I'm presenting to you you haven't seen anywhere else.
right,
Because no one has heard the recording,
mhm,
and it's only been right here.
right.
Right here. So ask some questions. I'm willing to take some questions.
Okay, does anybody have any questions they wanna ask? Do you want me to pull this down here, or
Yeah, you
did you
can.
wanna leave it up?
I could take it
Okay.
down.
Does anybody wanna come up and ask some questions? We can take 1, maybe 2. It's up to our guest. Sometimes there's a delay, so it may
Oh
take
yeah,
a
yeah, I know. I'm well.
minute.
So that you also know, and I'll go back over this here, is that Shanna Shell hired Lethal Carter,
Mhm.
Lethal whatever, Mr. Narcissist. She hired she
Uh-huh.
hired him.
Mhm.
She also knew him 2 years prior. There's a dated timeline 2 years back, maybe even more, when she first started working with Michael. They had been podcasting together for
Mhm.
2 years. And then 6 months back, she moved into the house with Angie Stone. Mind
Mhm.
you, her moving into the house with Angie was after Angie started talking about the loss of royalties and the money.
Mhm. Right.
In my personal opinion, allegedly, I
Uh-huh.
think she was placed by Mr. Carter into the home
I would have to agree with you.
and put in a position to where she can keep watch on everything, because the coder, Mr. Coder,
Mhm.
and
Was hired
Lethal
by Lethal.
were moving around royalties.
Uh-huh.
Now, a lot of people are keep saying what top labels are doing, and
Mhm.
I am going to say allegedly, in my own opinion. This is not a synopsis. This is not a narrative. Only my opinion. I don't
Mhm.
think the top had anything to do with this.
I don't
Thi-
either.
This is a trashy,
Mhm.
bad work of people on a low level.
Mhm. I completely agree with
This
you
ain't got
there.
nothing to do with major labels. I'll tell you. Let me express that even more. You see,
Before you do so, though, I
okay,
have one quick question that I want
okay,
you to um, reiterate to Forever Lisa.
okay.
The lady with the vest, did she tell Angie, or I'm sorry, the lady with the vest, did she tell Angie's cousin that she, meaning Angie, has passed away at the scene or at the hospital? Because
Sheila,
according to what I remember hearing her say,
she, yes,
it sounded
Sheila,
like she said it as soon as she got out of the van.
yes, Sheila said when she got out of the van at the scene,
Mhm.
the EMS worker told her that she had passed away.
Okay.
That's what Sheila says.
That's
Now,
right.
if you ask me if I believe that, I'm not sure about that. And the only reason I'm not sure about that is because there's no blood.
That yeah.
There's no blood, right? Not only is there not any blood, it just
There
doesn't
was
make
no
sense to me.
other, bodily functions to speak
No,
of.
no. And I don't know if anybody knows. Do you know when you go into the point of rigor mortis, where you pass away, do
Mhm.
you know your body fluids leave you?
They expel,
Yes,
yes.
they expel right then.
That's why I said that, because, yeah, when someone dies, um, that's one of the first things that happens.
So I don't I don't know. And I can't say that. So that's why I'm building the character of veracity on these people.
Mm-hmm.
So we know who we're dealing with
Uh-huh.
and why they're so solid. Now let's move along to something else. Let's move along to the other people in the van,
Okay.
right? I'm gonna throw a scenario out there. Don't make it right, don't make it wrong, but it's just my scenario, right?
Okay.
Let's say that other people in the van know something happened,
Mm-hmm.
and he
And
knows
he
it.
knows.
So to hide what happened, the van is flipped,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else in the van, instead of getting paid that day, they take a payday of being able to file an insurance claim, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's two people. No, there's one person that has not filed a claim.
Right.
Dante Daly.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Dante, I know, was hired by Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
He was invited by Lethal, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta say that to cover the just in
Mm-hmm.
case. So Dante is a young man that is now engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Daly is also a young man that's an aspiring artist. Mr. Daly is also a young man that owns 301 Productions.
Mm-hmm.
He has aspirations of being in the industry also.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But I think Mr. Daly has a little bit of heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mr. Daly is more on the church side than he is the side of nefarious.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I am going to speak to Mr. Daly. Dante Daly,
Mm-hmm.
if you can hear this broadcast, or if you get wind of this broadcast and you hear this voice, sir, use the God in you to
Mm-hmm.
come forth with the truth.
Amen.
Use the fear of God and reverence of him to help the truth come out about someone that you met and knew.
Mm-hmm.
You met her in the past because you have a picture with her. Mr. Daly, you have an abundant life in front of you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be responsible for helping recuperate the loss of a loved one to the world and her family, because
Mm-hmm.
you have information that nobody else has, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Daly, I'm asking you to come forth, sir. Please don't let me be the person to force you out, sir. I'm working on that.
Mm-hmm.
You've
Make
had
it easier on yourself.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You've had trouble in your past when you were 18 in North Carolina.
Mm.
Looks like you may have grown out of it. Let's do the right thing, Mr. Daly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the right thing, sir. Let's do the right thing. You knew exactly where you were sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and you know where Angie was sitting. You know if Angie was woke talking. You know if she wasn't woke talking. You have some truth, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And the world needs to know the truth. Clear your mind. and clear your heart and speak up, sir. Speak up. Because if it was anything different, you, sir, would have filed a lawsuit too, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me think, sir, that you and Mr. Carter were working together. Sir, other people are going to put that assumption together and want to talk to you. So clear yourself now before that even happens. Let it go and let it flow.
Amen.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Because I think it's 4 people hardly involved in this whole situation. 4 people.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment?
Yes.
I made a big mistake here, and I accidentally banned Darlene Whiting from the chat. I was trying to ban someone else who was speaking completely out of line, and I hit the wrong person, and now I don't know how to get her back. I don't know how to get her back. Anybody know how to get her back?
Let me see. Oh yeah, no.
Oh God. I am so sorry.
Well, it's just timed out, I think. So
Yeah. Yeah, because this other joker was in here talking crazy. Okay. Sorry about that.
someone says they have. Okay, Quiet Storm, I have a lot of information that I believe could be very relevant. Don't know how to get you or get to you. Okay. Is it okay if I give them my site to go to?
Absolutely.
You can go to www.quietstormfm.org. Again, that's www.quietstorm.org. And on that site, you can reach me. Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, you can get directly to me. I'm very, very, very easy to get to by message. Home, that's another story. You're welcome.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. I feel awful that I accidentally banned this young lady. So I just put a message to her in case she can still read this chat.
Yeah.
That
Does
I didn't
anybody in
mean
the,
to do
does
that.
anybody in the chat have any questions?
Now's the time to ask. If you want to ask, if you have any questions, I would suggest you come forward to the panel. That way there won't be a whole lot of lag time. You can get your question answered quicker.
And I'll play a little more of this interview for him.
Okay,
Oh,
Mark
say
said
that.
he asked a question. Let me see if I Okay, Mark says, "I have a question. Why did the first crash report say it was no fatality?
Okay.
Also, can Mr. Lethal wait, can Mr. Lethal arrested since he was on probation?" Yeah, I think you might have
Okay.
joined us a little later. We had kind of covered that.
Yeah, but I'll answer it for him because it's
Okay,
brief.
go ahead.
He should have been arrested because he was on probation.
Mhm.
He should have been double checked for a valid driver's license at the scene of the accident before
Mhm.
moving to the hospital, or at least taking him to the hospital with police escort, because that's
Exactly.
normally what take place any other time.
Mhm.
The state of Alabama's highway department was in charge of that accident, and not the county. So I'm sure if the county was involved, Montgomery County, he went
Mhm.
to jail. Yeah, I believe that. The other part of the question was, what was the other part of the question?
Uh Can Mr. Lethal be arrested since he was on probation?
So if the state of Georgia wants to exercise its rights of violation of probation, because there was police contact. When you are on probation, it doesn't say how much police contact or what kind of police contact. It just encourages you to not have any police contact. They could violate him until some definite answers was acquired and some different background. So yes, they could do that, but they haven't.
That they haven't. Aquetta Legacy Stewart says, is it possible that she was a sacrifice for someone to move up in the industry?
So me personally, I don't like to address, with all due respect, issues or questions of that nature,
Right.
because I'd like to look at things as they are prima facie on the face of the record, and then let those that believe in those theories deal with that. I'm just a person that's looking for hard, cold facts of record
Evidence.
and
Yes.
evidence to go for. So I cannot, in my personal purview, say that it is, and I can't say that it isn't. I will just say it's nefarious.
Joyful says, maybe a chance you could get gas station footage, because wasn't it stated that they stopped at the gas station? Oh, Sheron is here. Let me bring Sheron up.
Yeah.
Hi, Sheron.
Hi, Auntie and brother Quiet Storm.
Hey,
Hello. How are
how
you
you
guys?
doing?
I'm
Doing fine.
How you
excellent.
doing, love?
I'm great. I was watching the other one that you dropped 12 hours ago because you know how the videos pop up in your news feed.
Right.
So
Yes.
yours popped up, but Storm had introduced me to your video when you had when we was on the other show and I had met Storm for the first time. And I was just, it's just so much. Calls come through all day. My phone don't stop ringing.
Oh, I
Information
understand.
come through. So I was really, really upset when I came on that woman's show. So again, brother Quiet Storm, I don't know you. You seem like a cool brother.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie is just like my auntie from another mother. So I don't have number respect for
Mm-hmm.
her. But like when you see, I have songs written with Angie. And when Storm said, when I asked him, I said, "Well, is my songs?" I gave him the name of my songs. I said, "Well, if the songs I wrote and recorded with her, was they sold?" So at that time, to my knowledge, I only knew about the 40 that the brother had took. So we didn't even know about an auction. So when I was speaking, that was like our first time ever hearing that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of did throw him under the bus because he didn't even know everything as far as me going on Gigi's show. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So I do apologize again
No, no
uh,
problem.
for
No problem.
not just, we didn't know that you was bringing that news. You was rolling it out as we was on the show. So of
Right.
course I'm going to say, oh, this man is lying.
Yeah.
Where he get this information from? I got all the songs. I know the songs that were stolen from her, but my songs, thank you, Lord, they weren't in that catalog. I contacted BMI. I'm not really like, I tell you, I'm kind of a straight shooter. I ain't into proving nothing. You know, this woman got on a show and disrespected me, wished death upon me.
On Gigi's show?
On the other
Oh,
brother's show, the
oh
other
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sister said I was
Yeah.
impersonating her,
Oh yeah, yeah,
tried
yeah.
to
I saw that.
expose
I wasn't too cool with that.
me coming as a grown woman and trying to expose me. Like, I didn't have to come to you, my sister, just like
Yeah.
today your YouTube channel popped up
Sister
in my
Sharon.
news feed.
Sister
Mhm.
Sharon. Sister
Yes.
Sharon. Can I
Uh-huh.
say can I say something?
Can I finish my thought? Can
Well,
I
I
please
did.
finish my thought? I just want to say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just like,
you can, you
huh?
can. I was just okay. Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, just like people videos pop up in people's news feed. I haven't went live in 3 years, okay? And just like that day, a couple of months ago, when her video, and I'm not gonna say no names, y'all can get the message.
Yeah,
Her
I know.
video popped up in my news feed. So I felt like at that time, the right thing to do is to let this woman know that I'm the lady that they use in these YouTube streets. Because like you saying tonight, Brother Quiet Storm, I was green to YouTube. You feel me? And then I was used because when the woman disappeared, they chose me and they just started calling me her because they said we sound alike,
Sounds
but not.
alike.
But I
Exactly.
didn't know what they were doing because I was green. So I have a story to tell. So I said, let me go and start my own YouTube channel. So I did that, not even being aware of what they were doing to me. So that's how that came about. And then you're going to take bits and pieces of the video. You didn't play the whole thing when you asked me to be in a documentary. So I didn't have no issue with that woman. I don't know that woman. I don't sound like that woman. I don't sing like that woman. I don't want to be that woman. I don't suffer from mental illness in that light, but I think we all live in America, got some PTSD or
Oh,
something, a little throw.
you
And
preaching the word there.
my bloodline is Williams. My bloodline stems from Alabama. So this is kind of personal with me. My uncle was murdered in Alabama and they still have not solved his case and it's still open. So they do not do their work in Alabama. They don't solve no murders in Alabama. It's going to take us, like you said, Quiet Storm, to solve it because we can't let her go down in vain. She was the first female rapper. We know Angie loved us and we loved her because she was a real sister. So all this about I didn't work with this artist, I didn't do this. You can look me up, allmusic.com. I can sing you my songs with my songs. I ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. And my mama called me today, and another uncle died. And I mentioned it to my mama, and she said, pray for her. Everybody said, pray for her. Don't go on your channel blasting her because all they're going to do is take your YouTube channel and they're going to chop it up and they're going to use it to try to spread beef. So, sister, I love you. I'm not
I
trying to
love you
be
too.
you. And there's nothing you could do about it, Sister Jaguar, right? I love
Amen.
you. And there is
Amen.
nothing you could do about it. Okay.
All
So
right.
the reason why my brother is upset is because he was threatened. He called the journalist because you don't threaten nobody's life. That woman wished death on me and said that she reported us to the FBI. Well, you're not the only person that know people in high places. You ain't the
Allegedly.
only one that know people, baby. You don't know me. So keep your mouth off me. You don't wish death on people because that shit will go backfire on your ass. Because we over here walking in love. We just want the truth to come out. We want the truth to come out. And we're doing a great job. And it's sad that this one is competing with this channel. This one is. I ain't never seen nothing like this in the. This shit seem like, excuse my language, auntie, but the YouTube streets seem like that is worse than the real streets.
I'm
And when you
telling you.
say this, brother, when you say the work that this man doing, the masterpiece of work he's doing for Angie, you are right. Some channels, I didn't even want to work with all the just because you're a Grammy producer, and you a Grammy writer or what. I don't care about that. I don't do music because people win Grammys. I do music because I am music. I've been
That's
singing
your
since
love.
I was 3 years old. I've been working with artists since I was 3 years old. Go look up Willa Ford, NSYNC's baby mama or girlfriend. My name is gonna be there. Mary J. Blige recorded a song of mine in Electric Lady Studios. I gave it 30% of publishing. BMI got all my songs, but I ain't gonna go and get my receipts and start posting them for what? If I said I did it, I did it.
And you
Lil
ain't got
Mike,
nothing to try
and
to
I ain't
prove.
gotta prove nothing to nobody. Now I recorded my mom to play her on my channel because my mama, you gonna hear from my mama. My mama was there when I was with Angie. My mama was there when Lil Michael was there. My
Mhm.
daddy was there because he was trying to steal my little after check from doing the background vocals on my song with Mary because Astra paid me. I'm in American Gangster because I was Hillary Beckford's assistant. And all those, most of them people in American Gangster, I put them in there. So I ain't got to
Mm.
prove nothing to that woman who I work with, what I work with. And if she got to know me, she would love me
Mhm.
because I'm that real and I'm down to earth and I'm loyal. So I keep my circle small.
Mhm.
It
Absolutely.
hurted me. I cried when she called me names because I'm human. And I come from I got a serious background. And I don't want to go there. So I
Mm.
love you, sister. And ain't nothing you could do about
Amen. Well, let me also add that I saw that particular
it. Video.
video. I saw that, and
I just watched it Auntie yesterday because I didn't want to watch it, but my spirit said watch it. My
yeah.
friends, my family, my uncle passed today. My mama said watch it, but
Mhm.
don't go on there and do it. Don't do the things that she's doing because it's gonna make me look stupid if I go on
Right.
there. So I'm not. I'm 52 years old. She's in her late 40s. Why we gotta be beefing and doing that?
Exactly. And
We
it
too
defeats
old for
the whole
that.
purpose. It defeats the purpose
We
of
too
why
old.
we're all here, you know.
Quiet Storm 65. Auntie, you are around that. Come on, y'all are my seniors. Is she my senior? Because I'm older than her.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be nobody else. I'm myself. I don't need to
Mhm.
do nothing for clicks and views. I don't get I don't ask for money to get the
Right.
message out. I just drop the message.
Well, and that's why I was telling Quiet Storm that it's very important to disseminate who you associate yourself with when you are doing this type of work. And where he was located, I had some feelings about that area. And I'm not going to call her name out, but when you separate the two individuals, his content is completely different from her content. The only difference is that it was her platform. And when you're in someone else's platform, you almost have to obey by their rules. This man is
Girl,
doing a great service,
yes,
and
he is.
it's
Yes, he is.
disintegrated when you throw the ratchetivity into it all. You know what I mean? All the
Yeah.
name calling and innuendos and assumptions and all that stuff means nothing if you don't have facts to back it up. And
Well,
that's
what
why I
quiet
told
what Quiet Storm need to learn is that it's different sectors when it comes to the YouTube channels.
him.
And depending on your content is where you're gonna land. And then the algorithm is gonna pick up on the sector. And then your videos, the audience you want to hear your adult mature material ain't it's not gonna reach them because of the sector that they put you in. And you're doing scholarly work. So you need to be on scholarly channels like Auntie's channel right here. Cause I feel like I'm at home because we're adults and we're really mature adults.
Well, that's why I'm here. I thought about that, and you know, Auntie, she talked to me yesterday, and I listened, and like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a broadcaster. I love radio, and I love television. That's what I do, and that's what I've done most all my life, besides my military career. And even in my military career, I did it, but not but yet. At the same time, my issue was to get this word out and let people know the truth behind the scenes of what's really going on, to let them know that these are nefarious individuals and something had to have happened, because it would be unlikely that it didn't, with the type of people that are involved in this,
Mhm.
and I couldn't just let it go.
Mhm.
So I'm here to get the information out, and that's where I'm. So yeah, I have a YouTube channel, but I don't have anything on the channel related to that. And the reason for that is because I don't. Uh, I'm just me, and I find when you said sectors, with these different sectors, which I don't understand. A lot of people don't want maturity. A lot of people don't want straight truth and facts. They
Mhm.
want you to be um,
They want you to lie.
yeah, they want you to
They want you
lie,
to fabricate and make up
fabricate.
things,
Yeah.
and I
And
get it.
Yeah,
But it's
and I
okay. But you got to promote it. You got to get people to your channel. You have
Mm,
to send out email. I have a marketing degree. I do marketing and I help people. I built $2 million companies from the ground up, and that's what I do. So you
yeah,
got your broadcast. I got my marketing and all my other skills. You know what I'm saying? I'm a part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and most of the brothers that are my big
okay,
brothers and are
okay,
part of the Nation of Islam. I'm a very powerful woman, and I'm
okay.
connected to DC heavy. So, I had to get people to talk me out of certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so
mhm,
upset, and
Yeah.
I
mhm,
had to get them in my ear to balance me out.
mhm,
Well,
mhm,
I was upset
Because
too.
when people lie about you and lie on your name and they do
mhm,
defamation to your character, it hurts. And
mhm,
I know when I cry, my ancestors rock people to sleep. So I ain't even worried. Can't nobody bully me. Can't nobody get off on the threats because, when you make these little threats on YouTube, they're recorded and I do download them. Okay. I do record them and I do
mhm,
save them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not
mhm,
stupid. I changed the law in New Jersey when I was 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm,
do know how to, I am that one with a brilliant mind as well. And I don't
mhm,
mhm,
take that from, her or anyone. It's just that, you have to get to know people. Why you didn't go research what I said on that woman's show before you went on that brother's show running your mouth? You know what I'm saying? So you have to do your research before you put your tongue on people. You feel me?
oh yeah,
You
mhm.
don't just talk about people and gossip about people that you don't know. Now, if your
Right,
experience was just experience in the industry and you chose to come out here and put your mouth on those people, that's your business. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? But everybody, it ain't gonna fly with everybody. You out here just wishing things on people like it ain't gonna backfire on you. My energy's strong.
yeah,
right. Can I also say something? Quiet. I don't know if you can see how many people are in this chat right now. You see
yes, I
this
do.
number?
Mhm.
Do you know what that number was 2 days ago?
No, I don't.
8. Consistent,
Amazing. They love you,
consistently.
Auntie.
I love you
Yeah.
too, sweetheart. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
your love,
Uh,
mama. When he sent me your video, I said, Stone, who was this lady? She got a beautiful spirit, like my auntie.
oh,
And
bless
I
your
was
heart.
like,
Thank
okay.
you.
So, and then when you took my little clip of me having my moment, I was like, oh, okay. She was agreeing, like, because it's like,
Hey,
auntie and brother Quiet Storm, words have power. We
they
gotta be,
do.
we gotta be careful what we manifest into our lives.
They do. And I think people naturally want the truth. And I'm pointing this number out to you, sir, to prove a point. These people didn't come here because of me. I'm
They
gonna
want
say
the
that again.
truth.
They came here because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had any doubt before that your YouTube channel would not resonate, this should prove something because I haven't called Nan, one of these people, to say, come, come. I had no idea you were coming back tonight. I
Actually,
had
I
no
didn't either.
idea.
I just happened to breeze by and
Hmm.
saw you, and I
But
said, "Oh,
guess what? News traveled. And look where you are. And look where these people are. They're not here for Auntie Mickey. They want to hear what you have to say.
mm."
And now that Sheron has come in here, oh my God,
Yeah.
Spirit led. Spirit is real.
people want to know the unadulterated, quit fucking with me bullshit. Let's put it out there the way people understand it. Okay, I don't like to use all the cuss words either online. Sometimes I cuss like a sailor, but nevertheless,
Mm.
people want to know the truth. They don't want to be bullshit. They don't want to be fed a line of bullshit. And I don't
Mm.
believe that that's what you're doing. And I think that there's more people in this country, should I even say in this black community, that can appreciate what you have to offer more than others may not appreciate what you have. And I truly I don't believe, this is just my opinion, because I told you what I feel about opinions. Opinions are just like assholes. Everybody got one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
My opinion is where you were situated, you were not appreciated in the manner of which you should have been. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
appreciated here. You are not hearing a whole lot of ruckus and rhetoric in this chat room. And Lord knows, you know me. I showed you last night, I would check somebody for getting out of line in my chat,
You
for
sure
disrespecting
will.
you. Anybody that's up on this panel, you will not disrespect my guests in my house. And that goes for you too, Sheron.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
came out, you came here in good faith. You came
Yeah.
here with an expectation to be heard, and you should be heard without
Mhm.
any attack, any accusations. And I mean, none of that is productive. And what the whole this is about Angie Stone.
Girl, when my
Why
mama
are
and
we
my friend,
talking about
oh,
why are we talking about, yeah, you did this and this
yes,
EMF that and what is
and you
all that
didn't do this. I know,
right?
auntie,
It
my
has
mama
nothing
called
to do
me. Well, I
nothing to
can't
do
cry
with
no
anything.
more. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you
When
know
you
what?
know her,
It
she
just
was so
lets you
sweet.
know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
blessed. It
Yes,
lets you
ma'am.
know you're blessed.
Well,
Quiet,
Auntie,
you're blessed.
thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
To you and Sharon, I thank y'all so very much. Y'all have made my day because now I understand more than anything. And paperwork has been saying the same thing to me too. I think you heard him right, Sharon, saying, "Brother, start your."
No,
Yeah.
I don't know paperwork. I
Oh
never
yeah,
met paperwork.
yeah.
So I don't really listen to these people channel. My spirit pulls me to watch a video because baby, I don't have that type of time and I'm a businesswoman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was encouraged to do so,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna answer the call today. I
All
will
right.
Yeah,
start.
we got you. I'm here, Mama Titi. Auntie
Okay,
gonna help you. I'm here to help you.
okay.
I have a lot of resources, so I'm here to
Mhm.
help you get your channel moving,
And then
sweetie.
on the other
Mhm.
side, of the coin, I have 40 million listeners on Quiet Storm FM.
Well, there you have it
There
right
you
there.
go. And I
There you
got media. I have a media plug. I could blow you up like the world trade. 40 years in broadcast. I do we're gonna talk. I got some powerful
Yeah,
connections.
we definitely
Yes,
need
I'm gonna
we
help you
definitely
out.
need that. And
I'm
by the
about to
way,
blow up Storm's album. Uh Stone about to drop a album, so I'm about to blow his album up because I have a
all right.
serious media plug.
well,
Mm.
I got
Digital
some
digital
great.
marketing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you. I need it. But I have some great news. Uh, Starting this week,
Hmm.
Quiet Storm FM will be distributed by iHeartRadio.
Woo, woo, woo,
Look
woo,
at
you
there.
go. That see
Look at
button. Go
that.
see that. Look
Look at
at
that.
you.
Yes,
Look
yes,
at
yes, yes,
you.
yes, yes.
When you move in
Mhm,
positive in positive airwaves, look what happens.
mhm.
Yeah,
And I want to just say this. Angie has brought so many of us together. I mean, I'll be on the phone with 6 people,
Mhm.
4 people every day, everybody connected with Angie. It's a beautiful thing. And I know she has brought so many of us together. It might not
Absolutely.
look like it, but she has. We know who's come together. I mean,
Yep.
and
beautiful.
when I interviewed Angie, it was my first artist interview ever
Ever.
in my
That's,
young life
that's
Mm.
in
Angie.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at
That's Angie.
WKZQ. Now, listen, this was a station that didn't even play black music. They played rock and
Mm.
country. The AM played rock, and the FM played no, excuse me, the FM played rock, and the AM played country. And so, um, I was
Mhm.
I was working at the radio station, and tornado, hurricane hit, not tornado, hurricane had hit Myrtle Beach, and I was at the station. So they said, "Can you handle the boards?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I don't know the country music." He said, "Well, do what you want to do, because nobody can get there." I'm like, hold on. You saying do what I want to do?" Yeah,
Mhm.
my cousin lived right around the corner.
Mm.
I said, "Hey, bring me some albums. Bring me some albums."
Wow.
I made a country station R&B for
I
2 nights.
know that's right.
For 2 nights. And
Hmm.
you know what? I had been doing it every since. Ever since.
Wow.
And I don't know if you familiar with NASCAR. There's a one of the
Hmm.
old NASCAR greats announcers. His name was Bill Canal, and
Hmm.
um, he played golf a lot, and I used to caddy after high school um, at the golf course, and I used to caddy for him, and he was one of the announcers at one of the announcers program directors at the station, and that's how I got there because he always used to take me, say, "Come on in, come on in, come on in, what the show," and that's where I learned the art of radio right there in small city Myrtle Beach. And the first voice I ever heard that I fell in love with in radio was Harold Melvin out of Jersey City. Not Harold Melvin, excuse me. Harold oh my gosh, what was Harold's last name? Anyway, Harold, and then in Atlanta was Jack the Rapper. And I used to go to all the are you familiar with Jack the Rapper, Sharon? You that age.
I don't know too many people. I only just work with who I work with. I
Well,
don't
anyway,
be knowing.
yeah, Jack the Rapper used to have
Mm-mm.
the Jack the Rapper conventions, and anybody that had wanted to get
Mm.
their music played in the clubs and at stations, that was one of the bigger record pools because back then we had record pools because in the radio station we wasn't using carts and
Mhm.
CDs at that time for music. Carts, and the cart machine was basically for 15
Mhm.
seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 2 minute commercial spots. So but then as the years progressed, they started
Mhm.
using 5 minute carts, and you put a whole song on a 5 minute cart, and then you use five cart decks to play all the music and not use the albums. But y'all know what that half spin is. Come on, all you old jocks using the turntables. Half
What was
spin.
it that I remember the record clubs, the DJ clubs in New York. I used to go with some DJs and they would pick up records back in the 90s.
Well, everybody from the whole East Coast, from New York to Miami,
Mhm.
all were together.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The jocks at WEDR, the jocks at
Mhm.
WWDM in Sumter, South Carolina, 94, 95, 94.5 in Charleston, South Carolina, which I
Mhm.
did work there too. Also, Conway, South Carolina,
Mhm.
Florence, South Carolina, man, all the way up. WBLS in New York, uh,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Detroit, and one of our older icons is still on the air. And this brother, when you hear car commercials and everything, you probably don't even know. And a lot of movie trailers is his voice, and that's Gerald
Mhm.
Albright out of Detroit.
Gerald
Mhm.
Albright. Yep.
This brother,
Mm.
this brother. I used to say, man, if I can get my voice like Gerald Albright, I mean, not I said Gerald Albright, not the artist Gerald Albright. Gerald, what is Gerald's last name? Anyway, Gerald in Detroit, and I'm 65. Don't know, memory
Honey,
ain't
I know. Geriatric moment. I know. I have them every 20 minutes.
yeah,
As we get older, the memory just get a little
Man, I'm
fog.
telling you.
yeah. I'm
Mhm.
telling you. So when Melvin Lindsay, and thank you for letting me talk about this. Y'all got me excited. I get excited about talking about radio. So when
Mhm.
Melvin,
LW said McBride.
oh yes,
All
yes,
right. Thank you, L Boogie.
yeah,
That's it,
yeah.
McBride.
So
Mhm.
when Melvin Lindsay got on the air that one night during the Quiet Storm, the first thing you heard was "Quiet Storm." Storm,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
you Quiet Storm, something wrong. Smokey.
That's Smokey
Melvin came,
Robinson. Uh-huh.
yeah, Melvin came out that smoke. And now my lips are I'm like, I gotta get that.
He funny, Auntie.
I gotta get that. I gotta get that. So then I'm 16 years old at the time, right?
Oh
Uh,
wow.
And I used to sing with the choir, so I had that baritone, right? So
mm-hmm.
I got on the radio. The first thing said, "Hey, this is WKZQ
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
WB, and this is
Mm.
White
Storm.
Storm."
L Boogie said Detroit in the house.
Auntie, do you believe you go to church or you believe in the Lord or you just spiritual?
Child, I was born and raised Church of God in Christ.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
You know they told
because
you.
the
I was
Lord is
straight up
my
Kojic from the
shepherd.
time I was 6 months old.
Remember this one? Because the Lord is my shepherd.
Sharon, don't you
Mm,
cut up.
I have everything I need.
mm,
He
mm.
lets me rest in the meadow's grass, and they lead me behind the quiet stream. He restores my fairy and he helps me to do what honors him the most.
Uh,
Jag. That's why I'm saved. And that's why I'm saved. And that's why I'm
Sing, baby.
saved. I'm saved in his arms. That's
I
a gift,
know that's
baby.
right.
hey,
That's not made up, sweetie. That's not impersonating. That's a gift. Okay. I
yeah,
know who I
Sharon.
am.
yeah.
Yes,
Sharon.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I need thee all. I
I
need
need
thee
thee every hour.
every hour.
I
I
need thee.
thee. Oh, bless
Oh,
me
bless. Yes,
now,
my
my Savior.
Yeah.
I come
yes.
to
To thee.
thee.
Now
Ah, yeah,
Took it
now,
back to
now,
that's what
Kojic.
I'm talking about.
since y'all
Yes,
got
ma'am.
y'all got to let me hit one now.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
come on
Come on,
now,
come
come
on.
with it.
Come with it.
You don't know it. The blood. You know it was the blood.
Do,
All
do,
That
do,
right.
do,
saved
do.
me. Oh, one day as I was lost,
I
Jesus
was lost.
Jesus died on the cross. Uh-huh. And
and
I
no
know it.
It
Uh-huh.
was
blood to
Oh.
save me.
me. That's communion time right there.
Honey. They don't know nothing about consecration and all that. On
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. Yeah.
yeah.
He
Somebody
said, let
pass
Oh,
me
me
get
a
my
Lord.
church
consecrated
fan
wine.
out.
Yeah, my daddy was a bishop. My granddaddy was a bishop, so we had got it. We got
Is
it
that
bad in
right?
Alabama,
Li-
baby. Yeah.
Listen,
Mm,
my mama and daddy was pastors. I
Oh,
was
mm.
Lord.
listen, I was playing the
Ooh,
bass guitar, the keyboard, and drums up in the church.
yes.
My,
And now
my
wait a minute. I done took it one step further and I married one.
there you go.
He's
See,
sitting downstairs right now. He's listening. Oh
thank
my
you very much,
goodness, this has
Tawana. I
been wonderful.
appreciate that. You know, I'm okay. I'm fired up now, y'all. What the what? Yeah, y'all got me fired up now. I am. Yeah, I'm fired up. Y'all put that fire up under me and hit me with the gospel.
It's
Now I'm ready.
something about that blood, ain't it?
There's something about that blood. Something about that
Uh-huh.
blood. Yeah, yeah. Sharon, you got to be a guest. Y'all got to be a guest on my radio show.
Absolutely. You just
Absolutely.
stay winning. Just stay
I would,
winning.
I
Yes.
would, you know what? I would really, really like to do a show for ladies, but I would just do the music portion and let the ladies talk. And um, I have the ability that everybody can call in live to the radio station and make requests and everything. And I don't ask for any money to do that, because we we want we want to bring the old days of radio back to the forefront where
Absolutely.
Mhm.
you don't call in and just leave a message. No, we have live people answering the phones. I normally do that and get you on the air and you shout out your loved one and you say happy birthday. Bring those days back to the ready to the forefront. And now we're out here more than just terrestrial radio. See, you say you had to worry
Absolutely.
about just only the AM or FM in your area.
Mhm.
But with the internet, now we're broadcasting worldwide. Worldwide. We
Absolutely.
have how many stations playing the Quiet Storm format? Come on, people.
Mm.
It's there. It's there. But yeah. And you know what? If y'all could do me one big favor, if
Mhm.
y'all could go to that website and become members, I would really, really love that because it helps the big networks that syndicate the shows to see that hey, we really, really have. Well, everybody know we got people there because I mean it's the Quiet Storm.
Okay,
Yeah,
can you announce your website again so everybody can uh make their way over that way?
sure.
And I'm gonna try to put it in the chat as well.
Okay. It's www dot
Okay.
quietstormfm.org. And this is the trademark Quiet Storm. So anything else you see Quiet Storm, ain't me.
So you the
Oh,
original voice of the quiet when the rain come down, boo, lightning, and they play the music, and you be
No,
the voice. That's you.
I'm not the original. I'm one of the
Okay,
voices, but no,
one of them.
the
Okay.
the original voice is
Uh huh.
Melvin Lindsay from
Oh,
WHUR out of Howard University, a,
gotcha.
mm,
HBCU. Melvin Lindsay was the first person in life ever to do
Mm-hmm.
the Quiet Storm. And then all of the stations, all of our stations around the US picked the format up from Melvin Lindsay, and thus
Mm-hmm.
he created a whole new genre in
Oh.
and subculture of R&B called the Quiet Storm. And the Quiet Storm, when it first came out, was for sophisticated folk that was home, not cussing and spitting and drunk, but just chilling and relaxing. And
mhm,
but then it became the baby making source. So,
mhm,
I got a couple
Uh-oh.
kids. I got
mhm,
a couple kids myself.
Uh-uh.
mm. Honey, don't say nothing about them Isley brothers and Teddy
Watch out
Oh,
Pendergrass.
let
now.
me tell you
Oh
something. Let me tell
Lord.
you. Let me
Oh
tell you.
Jesus.
Lord.
Uh, Another story. When Lenny Williams came out with the release of "Because I Love You," a lot
Oh
of
God.
people don't realize Lenny Williams, what used to be the lead singer of Tower Power,
Power, power.
and so see, you're gonna get me going back about radio. See, I could talk about radio all day, but Lenny Williams came out with his release, and Tower Power was the band behind him, but it was all right. And Lenny Williams, ah, 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 ah,
Okay.
'cause I love you. Man, let me tell you something.
And them
Then
horns.
them horns, and then
Oh God.
shortly, Earth, Wind, and Fire came back with reasons.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Lord have
We
mercy.
Oh my God.
And then Roy Ayers had to come out.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
When you
uh-huh.
see me. Oh man, let me tell you something. My hips was hurting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. He said his hip. Did he say his hips?
He said
But
his hips plural.
my hip. Let me.
Both of
Look, I was young and rabbit age then, so
them.
you know
Man,
what I'm
oh man.
saying. And
Well,
then
y'all, I have to once again, I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am so honored that the two of you showed up to Little Old Me's channel and just man, I
No,
feel
big old you. Big
I
you.
but
Not a little
I'm
you. No, big
this is just
you.
3 days ago I was a nobody. And I feel like I'm somebody right now.
Uh-uh.
I've got some people that I'm affiliated with now that have a cause other than, I don't want to be in the ratchetivity category.
No,
Yeah,
no, I
I
You
can't.
know
can't.
My
what? I
spirit,
want to
I can't.
associate myself with
my spirit ain't gonna let me do that. I
yeah,
mean,
the people in
mm,
my
mm,
chat, they're not like that, and they come from all walks of life. And this is a no better platform than any for everybody to at
mm,
least if they don't know our culture, get to know our culture. We can get to know theirs as well.
mm,
You know,
Exactly.
yeah,
because we all serve the same Lord. You know, that's how I
mhm,
feel. But there was a couple of questions that I wanted to address
Sure.
before we go because I know a lot of people got stuff to do, and I got a
mhm,
grandson out there that I better have to go look for him in a minute because it's getting dark, and he better have his tail back here in a minute. But
I got
mhm.
a canine looking at me
someone
crazy.
someone asked a question. Let me make sure I get the right one. I don't want to avoid anybody. Um, Okay, so Tawana Miles Robinson asked you, Sharon, can you help us fight to get Angie money for her family and her legacy?
Who is Tawana? Is she
Tawana
is her
Miles
fam-
Dash
do
Robinson.
her family have something that they're doing? Because Stone and them, they're handling that part for Angie and her legacy. So
Okay,
they have a contract with Angie. That's
okay.
they don't have
Is
a.
there something that she could go to online to maybe read up on and contribute if need be, or something of
She want
that
to
nature?
contribute. She want to contribute. Can you help us fight? She
I
said,
don't
"Can you
know.
help us fight to get Angie money?" What does she mean? Help us fight? Who is us?
Well,
And
I'm assuming she's meaning all of us as a collective.
oh, well, Angie has a management diesel team that's handling her estate as far as her royalties. So they're handling that. And the
Uh,
contract is
Yeah.
still valid and perpetual right now. It don't have an end date. The end date is when they collect the royalties. So they're
mhm.
taking care of that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Because
So did that
that's
answer
not on
your
that's
question?
yeah, that's not on our level.
Okay,
We're
Nah,
doing in the investigative stuff in the background and
mhm,
and locate people that they may not can locate. But um yeah, that's on a different level. I know about that
mhm.
stuff, but that's not where that's not
But that's
my
not my
job is
place.
yeah, my
mhm.
job is to go through the back of everybody else.
Right.
Yeah. So
I
But
have
what
another
what they
I have
can do
another
though, Auntie, they can write DOG. I'll get the address to you, like I got it to the other lady,
okay.
the DOJ in Alabama. We just
Uh-huh.
want the police to do their jobs. Now my
And
aunt retired from the.
absolutely. That's the bottom line right there.
We got to
That's
write
the
and
bottom
call the
line.
Department of Justice, and if we put enough heat on them, they'll start doing something about what happened to her.
Absolutely. And Stone said that as well in one of his
Mhm.
latest videos.
Because
Write
that's
the
what we do.
DOJ,
We
you
send
know.
letters. We email them. Just email them. Flood their
Yeah,
email box and call them. That's what we do. We email them.
yeah.
We email them. We stand on their necks.
mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Lauren C. said, Mr. Quiet Storm, may we please hear more of the phone call with Miss Sheila?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Is it okay
Oh,
with you?
that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I'll be happy.
That in the making, like for each year, just as a celebration.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
All right.
mhm.
So was it actually booked already, or was it being set up to be booked?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because we didn't talk very long. He just wanted to know if I would like to be a part of it. And we hung up on that note. And
Who who
I
was
think he was supposed to talk to Blondie about it too.
for clarity? Who was it that he was want? Who was asking? Was it Stone?
No,
Oh,
it was Randy.
oh, Randy, the hot sauce guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And,
basically, they were gearing up supplies and everything so that they can have product in Vegas and product in Maryland.
that's
So
yes,
so
definitely product. I believe because Angie told me about that. She was going to be doing some of her the hot sauce in Maryland. But I don't know if they were gonna sell it or give out samples. Now I know I had I don't know if they was gonna sell it or give out samples.
Okay. So my thing is this: if she's so nefarious and money hoggish that she would interfere with the family's rights and start selling stuff on the internet, she would do other things too.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah. So my thing was, I kept saying while I was there, I'm saying this girl is building herself up, and she's going to run off to Mexico somewhere or somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I felt like she was trying to get as much money as she could wherever this money's going. And I believe that she was gonna get this money. Let's say I don't know. I'm sure she's done seen it on the internet by now. But I mean, probably her little criminal friends didn't told her that it's on there. Somebody didn't told her, but I believe she's gonna try to get as much money as she can and run. And I think she's gonna run to Mexico.
Well, she can't run to Mexico because she has to have a passport.
Well, I know she was in Mexico. That's where she came from.
That's where she said she came from.
Yeah, that's where she said. You're right. That's where she said she came from. And
does anybody have any proof of that? Because
let me tell you this. The only thing I can tell you is the conversation she had on the phone in the car one day when I was with her. Somebody called her and she was talking to him, and she was like, well, she was trying to pay for some land supposedly that she got in Mexico. And she was telling me that she was gonna buy this land, or she was buying this land, and she wanted to put hotels and stuff like this on this land. Now this is her telling me this. So
was that on speakerphone?
She was on speaker. She was talking and she was on speaker because she was driving.
So how did she get money to be able to do that kind of stuff? We're talking millions there.
I don't have the faintest idea.
I do.
Probably with one of her scams.
I know how it was. I know how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
She had to be getting money from somewhere else.
So she was paying on it. Matter of fact, the money was going into a Mexican account or something, because that's what the problem was. She was struggling trying to get them to take the money or something of that sort. And she was like, well, it's my account and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, right there. Sheron, did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm listening.
That's what made me track down the royalty auction house.
She was getting money.
Yes, and for the audience, we're talking about Shaina Shells.
Wow. She was getting money and she was what?
Yeah. Now, mind you, Sheila, what everybody didn't know, and I'll tell you, Sheila was staying with them up until 3 days ago at the house.
Oh, wow.
She didn't leave. She didn't leave yet. She was still there.
That's how she ended up going to the show in Alabama.
That's correct. She came from where she came from to go there to Angie, and then she went on the road with Angie from the house. Yes, correct. And she was there. Now, here's the other thing. The way that I got the information to verify the trademark of the hot sauce and the products was Sheila connected me to Randy. And that's how I was able to verify the trademark. and to verify the fact that Shaina had no right to change anything because what she changed was stealing the intellectual property of somebody else, and she did not change enough of it to avoid the trademark because she left 80% of it the same, which means it still belongs to the same trademark, as you know in the business there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about Angie's likeness of her name? Has anybody trademarked the name?
Oh my
Because
God.
that's what saves the
Oh,
Marleys.
oh my
Somebody
God.
needs to do that for those
Oh,
children because
oh,
nobody's thinking business, estate. I'm
wait a
hearing they're doing this in the house and this in the house and this in the house. And I'm like, that 90 days gonna be here so fast.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just opened a can of worms. You just opened a can of worms. Let me, oh my God.
Because
Mm.
I know what Diamond and Michael's supposed to be doing right now. And I said, Storm, we gotta save this. We gotta help Angie. We gotta do this for Angie. I gotta do this for you. I gotta do this for people that understand what trademarking their name is. We all need to be doing
Oh
this, especially
my,
you, Auntie, for your brand. You gotta
oh my,
trademark your name, Auntie. So I'm gonna help you with that.
Sharon,
Auntie, I'm gonna help you with your
Sharon,
administration, Auntie, but go ahead.
Okay,
Sharon.
love. Thank
Oh
you.
my God. Breaking news. No, she didn't. Oh my God. Artists, let me tell you something, people. If you're artist, if you're a recording artist, what you need to do, the name that you're going to go by, you need to trademark your name.
Yep, that's what she needs to do. That's why the Marleys are so successful and make hundreds of millions every year because they trademark the likeness and use of Bob Marley's name. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want me to, Auntie, go over what that is, I can so kindly quickly go over what that is.
Okay.
Oh my God. I I didn't even think to check that until you just mentioned it.
I've been telling Storm and them, but he's so out of it. We be out of it. We cry a lot over this. This shit is depressing, knowing what happened to a legend. And then it's like this
Mm-hmm.
man just out here running, and it's just a lot, sweetheart. Likeness typically refers to a person's image, voice,
Uh-huh.
name, or other recognizable aspects of their identity. This is legally protected under right of publicity laws, which prevent others from using your identity for commercial gain without permission. A
And
Mm.
that
celebrity's face or voice in a commercial, a public figure's name or image on merchandise, a video or photo that directly identifies someone and is used for advertising. You can't legally use someone else's likeness, especially a celebrity or public figure, for profit without getting their permission or licensing rights.
Mm-hmm.
Trademark name.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna
Mhm.
check I'm gonna check one more thing while we're
Okay.
here.
Well,
And
Stone had mentioned that Michael had signed a contract with her, so
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what he signed
sign the contract
Right.
with who? Wait, sign the contract with who?
With
with
say.
with the lady in the house.
Yes, he
You know,
did. Yes, he
yeah, he
did.
did.
I
Okay,
yeah,
but
I
mhm,
yes.
mhm,
I yeah,
mhm.
yeah, he did. He did. Under
Trade,
the auspices of sacred sound. Yes, he did.
trademark name. A trademark is a legally registered brand name, logo, slogan, or symbol that distinguishes goods or services from others in the market. An example would be Nike swoosh or Coca-Cola script logo or the name iPhone. If a name is trademarked, you cannot use it for commercial purposes like launching a business, a podcast, a product, or a merchandise without infringing on trademark rights. Using
Mm-hmm.
someone's likeness or trademark name legally. To use them legally, you typically need permission or a signed release for a likeness, a license or agreement for a trademark, or you must ensure your use qualifies under fair use, limited, non commercial, or for critique parody. So, why does matter? This matter because if you're creating content, starting a business, or
Mm-hmm.
using names, images of famous people, even posthumously. You must protect yourself from lawsuits or takedown notices. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That
see.
That's how.
pertains to
I
YouTube as
don't.
well.
I don't see how I dropped the ball on that.
It's okay. While I was here, the spirit had me come here to remind you so you can jump back on it or jump on it.
Sheron, would you please contact Stone immediately after we get done and make him aware of that?
He's already aware of it. That's the first thing I told him. That was the first conversation we had.
Okay.
And I
Because
asked him that. So he
because
has to reach out to Vasal and her management team. They need to do it for
okay,
the family, for the
yeah,
children.
and if that needs to be done,
Mhm.
I can help in that process because I've already been through it.
Mhm. I do too.
Okay.
I do too. I mean, a lawyer that worked for the trademark office in DC taught me.
Okay.
Mm.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's official. Yes, sir. Wow.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
that's a lot of information.
Mhm.
Valuable information.
I'll play a little bit more of this interview here.
But yeah, please play that interview. Can you rewind it a little bit?
Huh?
Can you rewind it just a teeny bit about the Mexico land and the money? I was like, wow.
That's the things that you're gonna just have to do. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to.
I do, and I agree. But
And the questions I'm asking you are light compared to what they're gonna do and attempt to do.
oh, I can imagine, and I went through that through my job working. I mean, we had to go to court so many times for different things, so I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
how they act up there and how they're going to treat you and what you got to say and what you can say and things of that sort. And in that part, he wasn't at the event at all.
Okay. All right. So she wasn't at the event. Lethal was there.
He was there, yeah.
Was Goldie there?
Who's Goldie?
I guess she works with Angie. I'm not sure who Goldie is. I just heard the name.
You mean Blondie?
I meant to say
Blondie.
Blondie. I'm sorry, I said Goldie.
Blondie.
She was.
Goldie.
Okay.
Goldie.
People were there was just that, y'all. Hey.
So there was a guy. There was the guy who was driving.
Yeah.
There was another guy, which I don't know. I don't even know who he was. Then there was me, Angie, the two singers, and I want to say three other guys. But the third guy wasn't. That was a guitar player. He actually stayed and was gonna fly into Maryland. He didn't come. He didn't come back in the van with us because he wasn't feeling well. He had, from what I understand, he had a surgery, and he just wasn't going to be able to ride back in that van with us
Okay.
because of surgery. Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, you clearing up a whole bunch of stuff, and this is awesome that you're able to do this because a lot of us were under the impression, even myself, is that there may have been a second vehicle.
No, there was no second vehicle.
So the products that Angie was selling, did she have any more products that she brought back with her that was in the van too?
No, there was no products at all. She didn't have no products in the van.
Okay. So, but did she take products to sell?
No, she did not.
She didn't.
No.
Okay. Okay. That was said, so that I was wondering how and where that came from. Because
no, that wasn't those.
In one of the recordings, it said that she was going to have products there, so that's why.
No, the products was going to be at the next event in Maryland.
At the next event in Maryland.
And that didn't have nothing to do with her having. No.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you're clearing up so much. I really appreciate this. This this is good because now a bunch of the craziness can stop.
Yeah, definitely.
And
There's a lot of crazy
and
things
and no one was saying anything, and they just let people run crazy with the stories. And here's the thing: by that happening, that could mess with a claim that someone may have. You know what I'm saying? To let anyway, yeah. So, um, how confident are you about Lethal?
Don't know nothing about him.
Oh, so you didn't know?
First time seeing him, first time met him.
Oh, so that was your first time seeing and meeting him.
That's correct.
But that wasn't his first time meeting Angie.
No, it was not. No, wasn't his first time meeting.
Okay. You kind of see where this is taking me back to then. Back to Lethal and Shaina. So that's the case. Let's say nothing happened bad at the scene and there was not an accident, right? Not an accident, but let's look at it this way. And I'm wondering if Shaina was partly responsible for getting Lethal to drive.
Can I say something? Her name, and it doesn't make a difference, but her name is Shaina.
Shaina. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep saying Shaina. I do know it's Shaina. Shaina Shells.
Okay.
Shell.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah. Or Von Shea. Yeah. I'm well.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a name. Oh, by the way, where did she come from? Where did she pop up from? Do you know?
This is from Mexico. But I think she was in. Now, this is not a positive story, but I think she was in Atlanta. She left Atlanta, went to Mexico, and then ended up coming back to Angie's house somehow or another.
Now I'd like to interject in here. Sheron, watch this. Auntie Mickey, watch this. They said that she came to Angie's house after coming from Mexico. Yet I can present an exhibit right now that shows that another girl named Storm, and Michael had been producing podcast shows for 2 years. So she could not have come from Mexico. She was around the whole time.
Especially if Michael was around.
Right. So I'm gonna pull up another exhibit to show you just that. Chiron, talk for me a second while I pull this up, okay?
Yeah, I was informed from a very, very close source of Angie's, that he is laid back. I'm gonna use that word. Very vulnerable and kind of like really, naive. So
You speaking about Michael?
yeah. So he might not even known the plot or the play out the play that was played against him. He might not even know what's going on. Because I know he loved his mom and his mama loved him. So he might have just not knew that they was plotting all along. I just pray that I don't think he had a reason to do with that.
Well, and now here, my question is, where is Diamond in all this? Is Diamond living in the house? Is she on her own somewhere else? I mean, is she even speaking out about anything? You know what I'm saying?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. It's only been 6 weeks since the tragedy happened.
Well, here's what I had a problem with. I don't have a problem with her. I have a problem with what people read into a video that she was drinking and whatnot after the funeral. And
Mhm.
my answer to that is you don't know how people grieve when they
Everybody
lose
believes
someone.
differently. Mhm.
Everybody grieves different. Let me tell you something. I've never probably ain't told nobody else nothing like this in this chat or on YouTube. But the
Mhm.
day my grandfather died, see, I was a crackhead back in the 80s. I'll be the first to tell y'all, God is good.
Mhm. Mm.
All
All the time.
he can bring me out, he can bring anybody out,
Everybody up.
and my
Mhm.
husband. But the day that my grandfather passed away in the home, in the bathroom, and they dragged him out from the bathroom into the dining room on the floor, my first inclination was to go to the bank and get me some money. And this is what I did. I went to the bank and got me some money and got me the biggest rock I could find and went down in that basement and got high all night.
To numb the
Everybody
pain.
grieves
I
different.
meant when my uncle was murdered in Alabama, where my mother is today in the country. But I, you know me, I'm a little, a little through. So I just sent the message out. It touched my mama because when my mama retired from New Jersey, she worked for the state. She moved back to the country where my uncle was murdered. But I let
Mhm.
it be known. I had to go down there, auntie, with the goons to let them know. If y'all touch my mama, y'all harass my mama, y'all do anything to my mama, it's gonna be.
Mm.
This country gonna be lit. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
God's blessings. Nothing happened to my mom is good. She called me today about my uncle passing today. But when he was murdered, I was in New York. We do Labor Day parade. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So Eastern Parkway, mama, I drunk. I got drunk, pissy drunk out of my mind to numb the fact that somebody murdered my uncle and I had to solve the murder. I had to go down there. It was like they was like, "Don't come down here, don't bring them dudes down here." Nah, we gonna figure out who killed my uncle, and we
Mhm.
don't even know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? To get people to
Right.
talk
Right.
and to talk because nobody was talking.
Mhm. Mm.
So I understand that was your thing, and I wasn't a drinker, but that was the first thing I turned to. You went to the bank and got your rock, and I went to the liquor store and got my bottle to numb it because I just couldn't believe not my. You be like, not my granddaddy, not my
Mhm.
own. I was like, not my family. This
Mhm.
not
People
my
grieve in
uncle.
different ways.
People grieve in different ways, so I
And if
understand, Mama.
she got drunk, got high, or whatever she did that night, she is totally within her right to grieve in her way.
There you
And I
go.
think that it's sad that people judge,
Mm,
you know,
mm,
or say, "Oh, she didn't care about her mom," making
mm.
assumptions that
And
we're
that's
just
why I do my thing at home. I miss the church, but I don't miss the gossip. I don't miss the
exactly.
hypocrisy. I don't
Mhm,
miss the judging. That's why I don't go. My life has been the best since I stopped going. Do I miss
mhm.
the music, singing on the choir? I miss all of that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if they had one that traveled that was outside the church, I would run to the choir. You know what I'm saying? But I just can't deal with the judging, and the word
Right,
says it so plainly, and everybody always want to judge you in the church and gossip. I'm too old for that, so I just rather not
right,
go.
and
I
ain't
go
nothing worse
online.
than
I go to
church
church
hurt.
on the internet. I go on the
Yeah.
internet. Or I'll
Yeah.
go to I go to this Nigerian church. They be getting it on in there. They done mastered Christianity so bad here tonight. The
Mhm.
Nigerians that took over Christianity, honey.
Yep,
They know how to
yep,
praise God. You hear me?
absolutely. All over Facebook.
You see the Nigerian churches, it be lit.
Uh-huh.
It
I
be
think
livid. Okay.
I think I
Shouting up a storm.
I think I got it up now.
Okay,
Um,
I'll pop it in
Okay.
there.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
This is
No, that's okay. Hold on. That's the drop from my network. I put that's the drop from my network. All right, let me get the right one. My bad. My bad. Black is gold. Black is gold. Black is gold. Video. I'm tripping. Up here we go. Now I got the right one. Woo, my
Okay.
bad.
DJ
Here we
Great
go.
Baby, okay? Child, look, speaking of just fine, y'all know, like, word on the street that, whoo,
Oh, that was all of it. But okay,
Oh.
here, if you see this video, right? You
Mhm.
see Michael right there on the bottom
In the
screen
yellow.
in the yellow. That's
Mhm.
Michael. You see his hair is completely different, right?
Mhm.
If you look at the top, that's another
It's
time
much
period,
longer.
much
Yep.
longer. All right.
Yep.
Oh Lord, please, ladies, don't get mad at me for saying this. The heavyset woman with the blonde wig on, that is Shaina Shells.
Oh, that's her.
The ugly one under that with the blonde wig on, that's Shaina Shells. Now you see them, those are 2 years looking, those are some years apart there, right?
Same person. They look like two different people.
The same person though. The only way you can tell is the gap between the two.
And then
Right.
check this out. Did you peep the obituary? The obituary has her in it 3 times. She's the only one in the obituary with Angie 3 times. Same picture. Do y'all want to see the obituary? Do y'all want to see the obituary? I will see.
Wait a minute. Let me make this point right here first, please.
Go ahead.
All right.
Wow, this is crazy, man.
This is proof on YouTube with dates. Now I just went back to YouTube and it's not there anymore.
Mhm.
But unlike them, I had already got the video. So I have the video record.
Mhm.
And if you know anything about YouTube, it has metadata that transfer with it that tell you exactly the date and time it was created.
Mhm.
And we can't edit that. You cannot edit metadata. Okay.
Yeah, I seen all these videos. She got videos out 10 years ago with like 20 views. 10 years ago. She been wanting to be famous for a very, very long time. And so has the other guy, the driver. They both want to be famous, you know. They really
she only got 100 something.
100 something views on the video.
Yeah. So this proves the timeline that she and Michael have been together for over 2 years. Here's the proof. Unadulterated truth. Now, I'm gonna go on and come out further. Ain't no way y'all could tell me Michael don't know nothing.
So what's the lie? If you're not from Mexico, where are you from? And if you telling one lie, you got to keep covering them lies.
She ain't from Mexico.
She can't be from Mexico.
She was living. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly where she's from. Give me 1 second.
He introduced her to his mama.
Because Lethal introduced her to Michael.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the order of how everything.
Now, I'm about to help y'all out right here. I'm about to give y'all. See, y'all gonna make me pull the receipts now. I like this right here. I like pulling the receipts. Ooh, I love it. I love it. And pull them up.
Did you see the video when she was spitting out blood and they was beating her? Did you see that video?
Yeah, for that movie. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Shaina Shell is from Alabama.
Oh my God. Not my state. No. No. I'm taking back Jersey and Brooklyn. No.
Michael is how old?
Oh my God. 30. What is Michael in his 30s?
No,
I think so.
He's in his 20s.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm thinking of Diamond's age.
Yeah, Diamond's in her 30s. Michael's my son's age. My son is 29. Him and Michael was born around the same time. Wow.
Wait. Hold on a second. I got the wrong Shaina Shell. Hold on here. We're gonna get the right one.
Yeah,
right
please, Lord, don't let it be for well. Lord have mercy. Not.
It is very clear, though, between these two pictures that there's a lot of hair growth. It takes quite a bit of time.
You're talking about Michael.
Yeah, on Michael.
That's not hair growth. That's he got weeds on in his head.
Oh, that's a weed? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh Lord, Auntie, I just can't say things on the air. I'm just gonna.
I know,
I
huh?
have to keep things, to myself. I can't.
I know. Me
I
too.
took I promised to not, say
This
certain
girl
things.
been all over the place.
This is crazy.
She's
And
20 she's 20 years older than Michael.
oh my
What?
Yeah, 20 years.
Mhm.
20 years. 20 years his senior.
Yeah, and you know what she doing to him? If she was a prostitute, of course you know what she doing.
She's laying
Somebody,
it out, spreading it wide.
she
Let's
is
tell the truth.
she is landing on them, honey. You
Mm,
know she is. Okay,
mm,
you
mm.
know she is. She is. She's a cougar.
Nasty. Just nasty. Low down nasty. That the quiet storm can't even help a situation like that right there. That's just foo
I
nasty.
mean, how you come from nowhere and you only know Angie 6 months and you calling her mama? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, sister. Like,
Well, that's a person
that
that
was
has
the
experience.
manipulation. That was the
Yeah,
manipulation
you
because
don't you
Angie
you
wanted to be loved. Angie didn't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? And Angie had health issues, which she needed people around her. And this woman just came and just whatever type of spiritual, whatever she doing, you know, I don't
Hmm.
want to say witchcraft because I don't know the woman, but
I don't either.
whatever this woman was doing to keep everybody away, she pushed everybody away.
I'm
Everybody away.
concerned. I'm curious. What kind of herbal tea
Was she
she was
giving
giving
Angie?
Angie?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm glad
Angie
you said
blood
that.
was Angie
L-
told us that she was poisoned.
Now,
Remember?
hey,
Exactly. Angie said she got stuck with a needle, but
n-
Stone said that this young woman was giving Angie herbal tea
Mm-hmm.
medicine on a
Mm-hmm.
regular basis. I'm curious as to know
Mm-hmm.
what was in that tea.
and that is correct. And
Not even that.
she sells the
If she was giving her the tea out of purity and not tainting the tea or trying to harm her with that tea. Angie had health issues.
Issues,
Angie
yes,
had no right being mixing medication with herbs because herbs and medicine, certain ones you cannot mix. So the
exactly.
mixture of herbs and Angie's medication could have caused issues with her health as well.
yeah.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. If everybody is 19 likes up there, I know y'all can do better than that.
Yeah, please,
Y'all get
y'all. I
if y'all get
appreciate you being here.
if
Can
y'all
y'all
get
hit that like button for
if
me?
y'all hit the likes up, I'll play more of the video. I mean, more of the audio of Sheila's Hopkins interview, and I can guarantee this gonna be salacious.
Yeah. Bring it on, King
It's about to,
Quiet
it's
Storm.
about to get. Look here, y'all need to get the likes up. I'm watching. I'm looking at them, and they ain't
Mhm.
moved yet. Now let me redo my screen here. Make sure I'm not. Yeah. Y'all need to get them up. Y'all got it up to 71. Come on, we at 151 in the house. Y'all are 71. We got to get at least 100. We get 100. Y'all hit them button, and I'm gonna drop that tape. And
Wow.
look, this tape ain't been played on no other site but right here, Auntie. So you can't hear it. No, you ain't gonna hear it nowhere else because they can't get it because I won't give it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm not in it for the money because if I was, TMZ or somebody else would have had it.
Honey,
Mhm.
you could be sitting on a island in the Bahamas right about now.
You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
oh yeah. Sipping on my ties,
Mhm.
watching my dogs run all in the ocean and just oh, they crazy like that. I tell you what, y'all get it up to 80 and I'll run the tape. It's 71. Get it up to 80. Get it up to 80. Get the likes up to 80. I'll play it. Y'all got to support Auntie right here. You got to support her.
So
I
sad.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let me
It's
holler at
just
my
so
husband.
sad.
Say, babe.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. then that answers my question. Yeah, they had communication, and Michael would have known that she hired Lethal.
Right. Like I said, I told my cousin, baby, that you need to get her out of here as soon as possible. And Angie told me that it was some stuff she was doing for her, and she had a lot of her influencing me about the bad checks. I already didn't have a good feeling about it.
And that's dirty.
Yeah, but I think what's happening, this girl, let me try to put it this way. I grew up in a neighborhood that wasn't the best, but we had a good home, if that makes sense. We had a nice home, we had a good home, but the neighborhood wasn't the best. But my grandmother taught us a lot of things about looking out and knowing people and knowing who's a scammer and blah, blah, blah. So I've learned that growing up from an early age, and I knew that she was a scammer from the start, which I'm trying to explain this to certain people, even my own cousin. And I don't think people took me a little bit serious, but I was serious.
Mm-hmm.
I said, guys, Angie got this girl. I'm talking to my cousins in there. Angie got this girl staying in her house. And I'm like, something ain't right. I'm telling you guys, this girl is a scammer. I don't trust her. I mean, I'm telling everybody this. I don't trust this girl. But people were really believers in this girl. And that includes Angie. They really kind of believed in her. She played them like she was smart, but the stuff she was doing my grandkids could have done it. You uploading videos on TikTok, YouTube, wherever Angie was, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you doing. I could have did that. I could, but you living somewhere rent free. You ain't paying no rent.
Really?
Zero. You driving Angie's car, and when it goes down.
Oh, wait a minute. She's still driving Angie's car?
No, that car ended up breaking down. It broke down while she was driving. And then from what I understood, Angie was like, no, you gotta go get another car. So she went and got her own car.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So where did she get the money to do that?
I don't have the payments. So she's like Tommy on
Oh, I know on Mars. Yeah.
Yeah. So
she got jobs, but you don't know, you can't see no. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So it just seems like Angie had an office. And from what I understand, she was supposedly supposed to be going to the office to work. Now, through hearsay, and this is strictly hearsay, she was sleeping more than she was working because there really wasn't no work for her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because besides some things that Angie gave her, but what I was trying to tell even Angie, I said, God, Angie, YouTube is a big thing. I said, people can go on YouTube and figure out anything. I said, I fixed my car, but what I do is I go on YouTube and they tell me what I need to do. And I drag my son out there with me and say, we're going to try to fix this. And then if it don't work for us, we'll take it to the shop. So, you can get anything off of there.
Yeah.
Between Google and YouTube and whatever else people want to get their information from, it can teach you how to do anything. So that's what I was telling Angie. It's not that she's really that good, but she's smart enough to go to YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't that girl was that smart, but she was smart enough to go to YouTube. And she might have had a little bit of street brain. I'll give her that.
Mm-hmm.
She's been to jail. And that's what I was saying. I said, well, I know she's been to jail because, and this is not something from hearsay. This is something she told me for writing bad checks.
Yeah, writing bad checks, prostitution.
Yeah, so she's lived in Florida. She lives in Mexico. She lived in, like I said, Dubai and in Atlanta. So my thing was, okay, why were you in Mexico? My thing was, why were you in Dubai?
Wait a minute. Did you say Dubai?
Dubai. She said she lived in Dubai.
I don't believe that. Nah. You know what? She's a felon. How did she get to Dubai?
Yeah, I thought about that. And then she
So
said,
on it.
Okay.
and then they was doing some Walmart scams. Now this coming out of her mouth. I'm not
Darn.
for this information.
Walmart.
This is just information she spilled out.
Mm-hmm.
She said, because I'm a listener, I'm not a talker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but she sure was talking. I sure was not answering. But anyway, she said that they did some scams, her and some guys. And she said she made $30,000 off of doing these scams through Walmart. And she said that she actually told the guys to come down to Florida from North Carolina because they had a bunch of Walmarts and they would be able to make some money doing what it be scams. So with that being said, and her telling me about the bad checks, I already didn't have a good feeling about it at all. Just too fake and phony for me. And I said, she's up to no good. So she's already had some things, going on with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would definitely explain the personality between her and Lethal, because Lethal is known to file lawsuits to make money.
Mm.
And there you have it. That's not all of it. It's barely halfway through. It's a whole nother hour and 40 minutes of interview left. And
Well, baby, play it. Because I know when Kim Porter book came out, I got a copy before they shut it down. Play it. That audio got probably 1 million views. Blow Auntie Mama up. Play
hey,
that
look,
thing.
look,
Play
I
it.
look.
read that book online. I read it to everybody.
Here's here's the difference between this and Angie Porter's book. Courtney ain't produced nothing to show that he really had the book.
But you did.
Exactly.
And
Here's
that's
the
all the while you need to play it. So see if your audience want him to play it. See what
yeah,
they say. They say
here's the
play it, Auntie. I would play it. Let them play it.
Okay. Everybody that wants to hear the rest, put a one in the chat.
It's
Because I ain't
exclusive.
got nowhere to go.
It's exclusive.
Y'all ain't gonna hear this nowhere else.
Oh no, they definitely not. No,
Stick your chest
nowhere.
out. Feel important now. Come on. Because I know I do. I ain't lying. I'm feeling very privileged.
It has
Lauren
not
T
been
put 4
played
ones in
anywhere
there.
else. Not even on my channel. It has not.
Wow. I'm seeing a lot of ones.
Oh yeah, they coming.
And share this video and make sure y'all get it right now to your family and friends so they can come and join us and get some of this
Amen.
sauce. This is
Yeah, that's the thing. Because if they want to hear,
eye opening.
if they want to find out where the truth is going to lie, here it is, right here.
It is.
It is from
Wow.
the horse's mouth, straight out of the vein.
And I don't think Stone would come out and just say like she's a great person. No, she's a horrible person, to keep the people that Angie love away so she
Yeah.
can continue her whatever,
Oh yeah.
and then use her child. Of all people, use her son, her children, and then
Yes.
manipulate them. And then I'm sure she's doing some type of magic on them because there's no way that they would be in that house with her and their mom's gone and nobody else is really around to really guide them because Shirley Caesar told them, you're going to need it. Y'all going to need all the help y'all can
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
to keep y'all uplifted. When your mom was the breadwinner, paying for everything.
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 And I got the
Everything.
receipt to show it. I hit her up and I didn't even know what she was going through. I just saw her and I saw death angels all around her. And I kept saying, I got to get to Atlanta and I got to get to Angie. And I beat myself up. And Stone said, don't beat yourself up. because
Mm.
my text was bouncing back. I'm trying to figure out why my text bouncing back, why my
Mm.
text keep bouncing back. And then when she passed, all of a sudden my text going through, and then I see this obituary, and I clicked on that obituary. That thing went straight to the cell so instantly. I said, "What is this?" I said, "She's somebody selling her obituary."
Mm. Mm.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
then I
yeah. We get that.
thought, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Let's get
But
to
they
that
didn't
part.
even sell Michael Jackson obituary. They didn't sell Whitney's
Mm.
obituary.
No,
They
they sure
selling this
didn't.
woman's a bit. That is the utmost disrespect.
Mhm.
And before there was, and Shannon was selling it before she was even buried.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
went and got the. She went to Tyler Perry people and picked up the extra obituaries and
Mm.
sold them to
And sold them. That's right. That's
and
exactly what she
sold
did.
them, y'all. That is the ultimate
God.
disrespect.
Yep. Here we go.
Mm.
And you make sure you have them. You make sure you have those investigators from the lawyers check that.
Mhm.
Mm.
And did you know this? Did you know that his son is on the FBI most wanted list for murder?
Yeah,
No.
you said that earlier. Yeah. Jesus.
Did you know that Lethal has a nefarious criminal record?
I
Mhm.
didn't. That's somebody that did come up. I seen that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
So
So.
she knew what she was hiring.
Mhm.
From
Mm.
everything that you just told me, everything lines up to her and Lethal had something funny going on in this situation.
Mhm.
And I would agree with that for sure too, because I know for a fact she's the one who hired it, and I know for a fact she's a mouthpiece. She'll
Mhm.
talk. She'll
Mhm.
talk her way and have people believing in her if
Mhm.
you're not smart.
Right.
And she was trying to push everybody out. The
Mhm.
hot sauce guys, she was trying to push him out because I heard her
Mm-hmm,
Stone
mm-hmm,
trying to,
mm-hmm.
because she was telling Angie about him. Yeah, you need to get rid of him. So I know nothing about Stone, but these are the names that I've heard.
Okay. Now,
So when I seen him on the video, I said, "Oh, so that's who the guy is." Because Angie used to talk to him, and she would say, "All right, Stone," and he would say, "All right, Stone," because both of them, would have the Stone going on.
right.
And so I said, "Oh, that's him." So when I seen him on the video the other day, I said, now I can put
A face to the name.
put a face to the name."
Yeah.
And then the Randy guy for the hot sauce got my number from Ashton to speak to me about something going on in Vegas. And he just wanted to know, because I was her cousin, if I would like to be involved. Now, I haven't heard back from him, so I don't really know the full details of that.
So that was going to be the residency that she was going to be doing in May.
That's correct. That would be very correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she was getting ready to do a residency in Vegas.
Yes, that is very correct. Mm-hmm.
So my question is who was going to pay for her to get a place in Vegas while she was going to be there?
I don't have the answer to that.
So they didn't work that part out yet.
I don't know if they didn't work it out, but I know that it was in the making.
Okay.
And she had mentioned that too. So it was definitely in the makings. And I think what it is that he wants to do is keep that in the makings, like for each year, just as a celebration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
All right.
mm-hmm.
So was it actually booked already, or was it being set up to be booked?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because we didn't talk very long. He just wanted to know if I would like to be a part of it. And we hung up on that note. And I think he was supposed to talk to Blondie about it too.
For clarity, who was it that he was who was asking? Was it Stone?
No, it was Randy.
Oh, Randy, the hot sauce guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And,
basically, they were gearing up supplies and everything so that they can have product in Vegas and product in Maryland.
that's
So
yes, yes,
so
definitely product. I believe because Angie told me about that. She was going to be doing some of her, the hot sauce in Maryland. But I don't know if they were going to sell it or give out samples.
Mm,
Now I know I had a, yeah. I don't know if they was going to sell it or give out samples.
okay. So my thing is this: is she's so nefarious and money hoggish that she would interfere with the family's rights and start selling stuff on the internet. She would do other things too.
Yes, yeah. So my thing was, I kept saying while I was there, I'm saying this girl is building herself up, and she's going to run off to Mexico somewhere or somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I felt like she was trying to get as much money as she could wherever this money's going.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that she was gonna get this money. Let's say I don't know, I'm sure she's been seeing it on the internet by now. But I mean, probably her little criminal friends didn't told her that it's on there. Somebody told her, but I believe she's gonna try to get as much money as she can and run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's gonna run to Mexico.
Well, she can't run to Mexico because she has to have a passport.
Well, I know she was in Mexico. That's where she came from.
That's where she said she came from.
Yeah, that's where she said. You're right. That's where she said she came from. And
does anybody have any
me,
proof of that? Because
let me tell you this. The only thing I can tell you is the conversation she had on the phone in the car one day when I was with her.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody called her and she was talking to him, and she was like, well, she was trying to pay for some land supposedly that she got in Mexico. And she was telling me that she was gonna buy this land, or she was buying this land, and that's some kind of fraud or something.
No,
Everything on her blogs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was people right in front of her face.
Yeah, this is an all inside job.
Mm-hmm.
Then that answers my question. Yeah, they had communication, and might have known that she hired Lethal.
Yeah. We all knew that she's the one who hired him. Yeah, I knew that she hired him. Now I definitely knew that.
So
because it was said. Because I kept saying, well, I said, what are we doing, Angie? Because I was lost. Now Angie talked to me and kept me informed. She said, well, Shannon found this guy, Lethal, but I think Angie knew him a little bit before the hire.
Yeah.
And I think he told Angie that he had a split. And Angie said, oh, it's cheaper than flying everybody out for that little trip to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that ended up at. That's where that came in.
You see right there?
Then after
that's her explaining that Lethal had the Sprinter van. So Lethal acquired the Sprinter van.
Mm-hmm.
So she all in on that.
Yeah, they all in on it. All in on it. Stone told us what she said at the hospital in Alabama when she got there. So they had something going on. So you got something going on with Michael. You got something going on with this man. Well, we already know she got the prostitute charges, so it's not hard for her to be dealing with both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But now it's about to get juicy. So tighten your seat belts because it's about to get ugly.
Uh-oh.
I believe Shaina is the one who got in touch with him and set up the whole splinter thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, let me tell you what you need to do before you leave. You need to find a way to get a receipt that she booked that or information that she booked that. Let me tell you why.
That's going to be hard for me to get, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
That is going to be hard for me to get. I'm not at the house any longer. I left.
Okay.
So I'm not there no more.
Okay.
I'm still in Atlanta, but I'm not there. And I don't know how I would get that information. Can't get it from her son, that's for sure. Because they don't even answer my calls. Or her, that's a whole nother story. But they don't answer no calls.
So, look,
so why y'all think she?
I'm gonna speak.
Why would Michael turn his back on his blood relative, his family that was there with his mama? Because somebody else is in their ear, obviously.
That's correct.
This is the time where family come together when it's a loss. So why everybody distant? Why everybody put out the house? Why everybody distant from them? Something is going on.
Well, let's check it out and find out here. They're adversarials to Angie, aren't they?
Who are kids?
Yes.
They're just not very smart.
No, that's we know that. But it sounds like a little greed is coming from the kids too.
Oh, I can agree. I would agree. Well, okay, so I'm gonna put it this way. Michael is just him. He's just something whipped. I don't know what. He's 48 years old and he's 27.
Oh my.
But Michael is actually the one that bought Shannon
To the house.
Shannon to Angie.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. See, you opened up
6 months. She only been there 6 months. So that means you've been knowing this brother.
Here.
They've been knowing each other for what you say, Brother Storm, 2-3 years. They've been knowing each other. And all of a sudden now you just bring this woman to your mama house 6 months prior to her losing her life.
Because she started talking about the royalties. It was getting hot, and Lethal sent her to keep her under control.
There you go. She was Angie's handler.
That's correct.
So to speak. We get it. I'm gonna let the cousin talk. I know a lot, but I'm gonna let the cousin talk, and I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. So Michael pushed for her to be there.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. This is coming from Shannon. Shannon had an apartment somewhere close to downtown area. And she lived in this apartment. And how her and Mike met, I don't know.
But she got evicted.
Is that what happened?
Court records don't lie.
Storm is on it.
She moved. And see. So
how did she move and didn't have a place to go to?
So this is what I'm assuming. I am gonna say that she had Mike had introduced her somehow to Angie, I believe, before she got convicted, right?
Before she was convicted?
Evicted from her place.
Yeah.
But then she went to Mexico. Now, this is the story she told me, and I'm the only telling you what she told me. She went to Mexico, and she said, I'm not going to say it was really, I don't know. This is the story she told me. She said that Angie felt sorry for her and was wondering why she was over there in Mexico. And Angie told Angie, now this, she said Angie sent for her to come and stay with her and her daughter, because she didn't want her living in Mexico. Now that's what she told me. And that's how she ended up at Angie's house.
Was she in Mexico or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
She was still in the United States.
Mhm.
Yes, she was in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Not Mexico.
Yeah. So you don't need a passport or anything.
Right.
New Mexico. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And land is cheap. Land is cheap in New Mexico.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I actually, I'm from San Diego, so I spent some time in between Tijuana and New Mexico.
What kind of car does she have?
She has a Lexus.
Is it a new one or is it old?
It's an older one, maybe about 20. Maybe I would say about a 20, maybe 18.
2018. Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. Between 2018 and 2019.
Okay, so she got it from a buy here, pay here lot.
Yes, she got it from the same place Mike got his car from. I can find out the name of that place real easy. I can get that from somebody.
Yeah, if you can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you see how things are coming together that where you see what you see what I'm cooking here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I didn't want to believe that Mike probably would have anything to do with this, but he does.
No, he's the one who introduced. Now I know that for a fact that he introduced her basically to Angie, and then now the thing is, I don't know if they had a rule. I'm looking at it, and this is just me, my own self looking at. I'm looking at it as they had a relationship.
Of course they did.
Mm-hmm.
Mike was whooped.
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm.
And what he don't know is Lethal was hitting on her, and they probably had something going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep killing him on that. I'm gonna rub that in his face every time I can, so somebody finally squeak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mm-hmm.
So it I hate to say this, but it looks like that was done on purpose. And it looks like somebody was trying to get a claim. It don't look any other way.
Oh, that's right. Because you said that he's had some claims.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So the plan didn't go right, evidently, is what you're basically saying.
The plan didn't go right. That's exactly what I'm saying. So
okay, got you.
They thought what someone thought, in my view. I can't say this absolute, but this is what it feels like to me, is that they were going to do what they could to get a claim so that they could collect a large amount of money. And in so doing, Angie ends up at what happened.
Wow. I get it now. I got you.
Jesus.
So
nothing else makes any sense that this could be, and have gone any other way other than that.
Well, I know that it was just weird to me. She was like, "Oh, I just can't get over this. I'm grieving so much," but I never seen a tear fall from her eye.
Wow. No.
And I don't know. It just seemed fake to me. I can put it that way too.
When you say fake, please.
Like I just didn't feel like she was grieving the way she said she was. You know, I just didn't feel that. Yeah, because matter of fact, it seems like from the time I had gotten there, it was just this thing about her because Angie was asking her to do something. She would be kind of like rolling her eyes, like she didn't want to be bothered,
Mm.
you know. And that's why she kept saying she had a job. But like I said, she was never going to work. And then she was saying she was working from home, but she would be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sleep all day and have a job, right? Not Monday through some of these days. And so that's what I didn't understand. If you had that much work to do for Angie, then why would you always sleep? Another guy involved in this.
Well, I've got all the names that the police have record of.
No, I don't think the police would have record of this guy.
No, let me see here.
No, you talking about everybody who was on the van?
Yeah.
This guy wasn't on the van.
Where was he at?
I don't know. I guess at home or somewhere, but I do know he came to fix the door.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm going to hold that part because that part right there is talking about some the door to Angie's house got tore down.
What?
Yeah, they had to replace the door. But that was a family issue and not an outside issue. So I think it was a scrap. Anyway, it was a family issue. And this will show you from the inside what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
From the words of her cousin, her first cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And she verified everything Stone said.
Right. That she did.
That she did.
Mm.
Anybody have any questions?
He was just interviewed on BG's channel, and he dropped the bomb that 3 of the people in the van had guns on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he said that the 3 guns was given to her at the hospital.
Two of the guns.
2 of the guns. So why did they give her 2 of the guns?
That detective wasn't supposed to give her anything about
exactly. Why did they give her 2 guns to somebody else's weaponry?
Because the only was he couldn't have given them to him because at that point there wasn't an autopsy done, and what if they were actually gunshot wounds, but there was no blood though, so I mean it wouldn't make sense. But
it was a gunshot wound to who?
I'm saying there could have been, but we don't know.
Everybody's waiting on the autopsy. Okay.
Right. Okay. And if one of those weapons fired, they would keep it for forensics. But they should have kept all 3 for forensics, and they should have verified that they were registered or who the owners of those weapons, and see if any of those owners was in that van. But they didn't do that. They dropped the ball on a major.
They don't do it. They don't. My daughter was in an incident with her child's father in Birmingham, and they came up and picked up his mama gun that was in my daughter's house. I said, "What type of state is this?" Somebody would have went to jail coming to bringing somebody's gun.
Exactly.
Back to them. Alabama is strange, y'all.
Yeah.
The laws there, they don't do their work, bro. They don't. They don't.
They do what they want to do it for.
If it was, remember when Uncle threw that hat up and it was on in Alabama and Montgomery? Yeah. Remember that fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
They did something then, but when it comes to something serious like murder, they don't do their job. They don't solve no crimes.
Correct. Now, Stone wasn't at the scene at all, and his story runs right parallel to her story.
To hers, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Shannon and Lethal went back to the site scene.
That part.
Why?
That's really interesting.
Why? Because I think Shaina was looking for any other evidence that may have been left on the ground.
Because of the pop, 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 the gunshots that went off, pop, pop, pop. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? Was the tire shot out?
I don't think so. But we don't
So
know.
what?
Because
Mhm.
we don't know. We don't know yet. But uh I put in a FOIA request, so soon we should get some information.
My aunt retired from the detectives. I called her. I gotta get in contact with my aunt in Birmingham detectives. I'm gonna see what she could do to help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
boy.
So
It's
anybody
all
got any
right.
questions before I get up out of here? My canines have got to eat, or they gonna want to eat me.
Mhm. Well, you could come back tomorrow and finish playing it because how much time left on the tape?
Another hour.
Oh yeah, we need to do that tomorrow. What you think, Auntie? We need to get that popping tomorrow.
I'm down with that.
What time? Look, what time? What time,
I
Auntie?
start this thing at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If y'all
Okay.
want to come back tomorrow
All right.
and ask your questions tonight or tomorrow, or it's totally up to y'all. I ain't going nowhere.
And
So,
you're gonna want to share this because you're not gonna hear this
mhm,
tape anywhere else.
Right,
Nobody else has this interview but
yeah.
me. But
right.
me.
And I did put that in the chat as well. You
Mhm.
guys, please share tonight's live. As a matter of fact, share last night's live as well, because this is a continuation of last night. And
That's
this is
true.
very, very
Mhm,
important. We need to get this out to the masses in order to do this for Angie. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, this is what it all boils down to right here. This ain't for clout. This ain't for clicks. This ain't for views.
Nope.
This is for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
5 Pacific, 7 Central, or
Yes.
that's and what
At
time Eastern?
8 Eastern.
8 Eastern. Okay.
Mhm.
and thank everybody so much. I really appreciate you to the bottom of my heart. Um, if you have information and you'd like to share it and you'd like for us to check it out, by all means, you have the website you can go to. It you can do things anonymously. Nobody have to know who you are. Simply go to www.quietstormfm.org and you can get in contact with me, email or whatever. That way, you can even join as a membership and put your comments there, and nobody will see it. Okay,
Okay,
so
Lauren C wants to know what your email is. Would that be on the website as
they have
well?
to go to the website, and yeah, that's
Okay,
there.
Lauren C, that would be on the website. That email would be on the website.
Okay.
You guys,
Well,
thank you so much. This has been awesome. I mean, this is epic. You don't know.
yeah. That's our little church moment. We had Sunday
Okay,
service
Yeah,
on a
man, we went to church
Tuesday.
tonight, didn't we? The spirit moved in there and moved around.
yeah, yeah,
And thank
yeah.
y'all so much for letting me speak. Justice for Angie.
Sweetheart,
Justice for
anytime. I was
Angie.
so glad to see your name. I said,
Thank
look at here.
you. Yes,
Sharon
yes,
is here. And you know
yes,
what? You're
ma'am.
welcome back here anytime as well, sweet. All of you guys are. All
Yes.
of you.
Thank you so much. Hmm.
Okay. I love you guys and thank you again so much for coming. Quiet, you the man. You the
Yes,
man. You are
he is.
the man. I'm here to tell you. I thank God for you. And
We
I'm
try.
sure Angie is thanking God for you as well.
Yeah, we
Oh
try to do
yeah.
it. But tomorrow is going to be monumental because I've got new paperwork I just got.
All
Oh
right now.
Lord. Well, I'm anxious.
All
I'll be
right
here
now.
tomorrow.
And when y'all see this report, oh
Uh-oh.
my goodness, you
Mm,
think a Joker is on probation?
mm.
Oh
Oh,
Lord.
it's about to get deep.
Oh
Mm.
my goodness. This
Hot
is
And
news.
then,
crazy.
I'm not gonna drop it till tomorrow though. Y'all got to come
All
back
right
here
now.
tomorrow.
All
5
right, y'all. Share the
alrighty.
videos. Tell a friend. Come on in if they want to hear it. They got to come here to hear it. So once again, I'm going to shut this stream down. I want y'all to get a good night's sleep and
Absolutely.
come back refreshed tomorrow. This has been such a blessing. So you guys have a wonderful evening. And again, thank you to my panelists. I appreciate you. You just don't know. You just don't know. I mean, words can't even explain how I feel about y'all right now. So you guys have a wonderful evening. And tomorrow, bring your popcorn and something to drink. Okay? Take care.